If Lands Could Kill, featuring Knifecity, Ryke, Samhain Crow, and Hot Sauce.
All right, well, welcome to another exciting episode of If Lands Could Kill. I'm your hostess, Knifecity.
With the mostest.
With the mostest, huh?
Yeah.
You Beetlejuice?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Beetlejuice. I don't know.
The most extended beginning of the show.
Anyways, this is Ryke.
Samhain Crow.
And hot to the sauce.
You always have to have, like, the worst opening lines.
Started off so strong. And then he gets better.
He went with the hostess with the mostest. That is kind of his fault, I guess.
Well, I mean...
He's a dapper woman.
All right.
You would look cute as in a dress.
Well, you know what?
I can picture it.
There's been many times I've been in women's clothing, and it's not pretty.
Show me your underwear right now.
I look like I would kill you and keep your body parts in my basement.
Puts the lotion on.
Buffalo Bill,
Yeah, because I have like a thick beard and then this like curly blonde wig on. Is one year for Halloween, I had my friend's girlfriend like put makeup on, do the nails, like the whole 10 yards. And yeah, I was like scared to look at myself in the mirror. I was like, you were going to kill somebody by the end of the night.
Yeah, this is going to be me as a depressed 40-year-old.
Is this what my midlife crisis looks like?
Exactly.
God damn it.
When I was 18, my mother, how awesome she is, she rented myself a party house on the beach for 3 days. It's like a 2-bedroom little cottage on Mission Bay, San Diego. Mission Beach, whatever. And so it was like awesome because I get to invite everybody down there, and it's like, show up whenever, spend the night, whatever. Like, no, door's always open. Who cares? Whatever
It was like a constant, just 3-day-long party.
Yeah, exactly. It was freaking amazing. The reason I bring it up is because that was Halloween weekend, because my birthday is around Halloween, day before. So I dressed up. Me and my friend Brian dressed up as Hooters girls.
Yeah.
So we're walking out on the beach, and
That's
it's like
too much hair.
I was clean shaven all around, down to the old popcorn shrimp. And, everything was good to go, and so me and Brian are both like we were both skinny at the time, skinny, and we were dressed up like chicks. We had fake boobies on, and like our shirts where you do that like that tuck up thing and tie in the middle, so like you turn a shirt and do like a skimpy bra, or whatever, and we had our wigs on and all this other shit. And we had actually the real shorts, like the skin tight little shorts, whatever. And so we're doing the whole thing. And then we get people, the guys, when in the dark, running up to us or whatever, trying to talk to us or do whatever. And then they get within like 15 feet and they're like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" Yeah. So there's one guy dressed up. Well, he was like a Mexican bartender guy. In Mexico and Tijuana and shit, when you go out and party there and you're 18, they got, oh no, that thing
Too many
is
cooks.
Oh, too many cooks. Shit! It just trolled me. I'm supposed to troll people with it, and it trolled me. So, anyways, this guy comes by with like his black T-shirt, comes by with his like little hand towel and a bottle of tequila. And in Mexico, he would tilt a girl's head back and pour a shot in their mouth for free or whatever. They just get girls.
And then they blow the whistle.
And they blow the whistle in their head and shake their head around and all this shit. You may have seen it.
And then they give the boyfriends free Coke, and it's not free. Then the whole
exactly.
incident happens.
That's what happens. What are you gonna do? So, anyways, this guy runs up to go give us a shot, and then he like grabs our head, and then he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm all ready. I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh no, never mind.
Take it back.
Yeah, it was a fun experience because it was all dark. There's no street lights out there for shit, so it was a good time. Anyways, continue on.
You know what I liked about that weekend? My drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning was not unusual. Everyone was drinking as soon as they woke up, so my alcoholism was hidden quite well.
I lost the picture of the fridge, but I remember we took a picture because the fridge was completely full, fridge and freezer with alcohol and beer and whatever else, as much where it had to go in like on the counter, so we couldn't fill it up. So we had to just like take some out and put some more in. It was the biggest beer fridge I've ever seen. It was fantastic. What a great time when you were 18.
Going right back real quick to that whole Buffalo Bill comment we were making a minute ago. I got a quick how not to be a dick for myself. Because I found it hilarious, but the first time I met the guy, Rusty, you guys know Rusty, I think, right? From Ian's group?
Yeah.
figure dude and this and that, whatever. Well, I wasn't trying to really be an asshole, but I first met him and we're sitting there playing a game of Commander. There's a few of us, this and that, and I'm like, dude, you know who you remind me of? It finally hit me after looking at him for like 15 minutes. You're fucking Buffalo Bill. Puts the lotion on its skin. I didn't let it go all night, and he didn't like me too much. He started trying to call me a neckbeard hipster after that.
He tried to come up with whatever he could.
Whatever he could. It's like, I'm a big fan of PBR. Yeah. That's my drink, but that was my drink before it became popular with hipsters. That's what I drink all the time. So he's like, oh, you wear a vest, you've got a beard, and you like Pabst. You're a fucking hipster. Like, whatever you guys say, Buffalo.
He wasn't winning that battle.
No. It was pretty bad.
Nice. Well, what have you fellas been up to this fine week?
Oh, shit has been good for me! Because last week I talked about picking up a handgun in the near future, and that future is now.
Yeah, the future's nigh.
Yeah, the future is Tuesday, and today is Thursday. So, 2 days ago I went and... I got a little birdie on the internet that told me that one of the local gun stores here had the exact gun that I wanted, and they only had 2 left, and he ended up buying one of them there, and he just pretty much posted it to the public on this forum, saying like, hey, I was down at such and such gun store, and they had 2 of these CZ-SPO1s, and I went ahead and bought one, so they have one left, and that was on Monday night. I read that around like 8:30, and they closed at 9, so I was like, fuck. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna get down, somewhere that's half an hour away in, half an hour and have enough time to fill out all the fucking paperwork and do all this shit. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to tell my wife that the following day, I'm like, I'm going to go down there, and if they have this gun still there, like, it's meant to be, I'm buying it. And so, of course, on Tuesday night, right after work, like 5 o'clock, I fucking run out of my office and get in the car and drive down there. I feel like people like racing me down there. Like, that's what I'm like looking around like, oh, this fucker's he's going where I'm going.
Every car.
Yeah. Like, oh no, this guy's not getting in front of me. I know he's trying to get my shit.
And then anyone that like pulls off, whatever, gets off on a different exit, he's like, oh, you chicken shit.
Yeah, you didn't want it anyways, huh?
He saw you, dude. He didn't want to.
So I was
this guy's buying a gun. He probably already has a gun. I'm not gonna fuck with him.
Yeah. So I was freaking out trying to get down there, and like it took me like 10 minutes to get down there from my office, and I ended up running in the store and
literally running.
Yeah, literally running into a gun store. That's probably not smart to do.
Charlie, run as fast as you can.
So I get down there,
nervous, trying to commit suicide.
Oh, I know, right?
You need a friend.
Bring a friend. Always bring a friend.
Always bring a friend.
Always bring a friend. Never go alone.
Yeah. If Lance could kill him, rule number 1: always bring a friend.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. But I walk in the store, and of course they do have it. But it was funny because I asked the guy, I'm like, oh yeah, like how many of these do you have left? He's like, oh, we only got 2 left. So I'm like, they're probably like yanking the guy's chain, like maybe they have more in the back or something like that. But
they just tell everybody, we only got 2 left.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I only have 2 left.
Look what happened to you.
Yeah, and they got me in there, and they got my money. So I was like, yeah, I will take it. I got to play with it like that, feel it, just make sure that was the one I wanted, and it was good.
And it playing with the dude's gun, right?
Yeah, I fondled it, caressed it.
Did you cock it though?
I did cock it back.
Did it go off in your hand premature?
Almost. But yeah, I ended up getting
shooting blank, so you're good.
Yeah. Luckily, it was unloaded. But I ended up buying it that Tuesday night. So I got a lovely California has a 10-day requirement. You got to wait 10 days before you can go pick it up. So I'll have to get it next Friday. So it'll be the 6th. I'll be picking it up.
Are you going straight to the gun range as soon as you pick it up?
You gotta run.
The gun range.
Someone's gonna take my lane.
Mama said don't run with scissors. She didn't say nothing about don't run with guns.
Yeah, right. So fucking, it's got a safety on it. But no, the gun range is in the gun store.
Oh, perfect.
So
you don't even have to run. You just turn around.
I will take it from the counter and then turn around and walk right into the range.
Then you just shoot from the counter.
Yeah, I'll shoot from behind the counter there. That'll be great.
I can bend the bullet like that fucking horrible movie.
We don't talk about that movie on this cast.
Is that forbidden?
Yeah, it's forbidden.
Yeah, it's just funny because this gun is like, I guess, supposedly really hard to find, but I lucked out and like saw it like a month ago and then wanted it and found it and bought it. So.
Is this the Czech gun you're talking about?
Yeah, it's made in the Czech Republic, and it's pretty fucking awesome. I have another gun that's like it's a Beretta 92, which is kind of like the same era of those kind of guns. This gun was designed in like 1972 or 75. That's why it's called the CZ75 or whatever it is. But it's fucking like 1,000 times better than the Beretta.
Beautiful.
So what makes it better?
I am super stoked. It is just the smooth, like the trigger is way smoother. The double action on it is like fucking butter, and it breaks like when you're pulling the trigger. Like in guns, you have to pull the trigger to do a double action where it draws the hammer back in one motion and actually releases hammer in that one trigger pull. And like the Beretta, it's like fucking 20 pounds of like weight you have to pull through to actually get to that point where it fires. This one's like maybe like I don't know, like 8 pounds.
Oh shit!
So it's way lighter. And then
so know what you're doing while you're handling it then, right?
Well, it's still like deliberately. You got to like to pull 8 pounds. It's still you're definitely not gonna like. Oops, I accidentally pulled and shot somebody.
Oh no, a lot of NFL guys happen all the time.
Oh yeah, well they're
Plesko Burr's dumbass shot himself.
Oh yeah.
You know what though? The big difference is that he has a registered weapon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. It still has the serial numbers on. It's not filed off. So not yet. But yeah, it's fucking awesome. Anyways. That has been me. That was like my highlight of like last week or this week.
Any games?
No, I haven't played any games, unfortunately.
Played the game of guns.
The game of guns, like the game of fucking obsessing and then finally getting it. And now it's weird because like I have it, like I know I have it, even though I don't have it in my possession. I'll have it in like 8 days from now. But it's just like, oh, I'm not obsessed anymore. Like the obsession's gone. I'm like not like
mission
looking
accomplished.
Like looking every like 10 seconds on the classified forums. Like, oh, is someone selling one? Is someone selling one? I was like, oh, I have it. Okay, I'm good now.
Nice. So what's up, Crow?
For me, I've opened 2 boxes of Fate Reforged now in the less than a week it's been out, including one just right before the cast here that we made a video of. So you'll be able to check that out soon on YouTube and on the website.
I gotta figure out a date, but to put it up because we want to do these videos on a date, a certain date of the week. So we'll see. We'll put it up though, and it's pretty damn good booster box.
No, it's pretty bad. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I was not upset about it whatsoever.
One little hint is that the value of the cards is worth more than the box, so that's a win.
Sweet. So open up those, and within the cold boxes, open some Ugins and some Mentors and Grand Funk Masters and different good value stuff and good fun things to play with, and several of the cards I need to make that Perforos deck we talked about building on here, so I'm pretty close to being able to build that. So that's exciting. And then other than that, I personally I'm not a huge fan of the UFC by any means. I kind of go in waves where randomly I get a hair at my ass by like, oh, I want to watch this right now because there's randomly I come across some fighter that I enjoy, so I'll like check out his fights or something like that. And there's this Irish fucker, Conor McGregor, who's just a badass. So I've been watching his fights, and it's been pretty exciting. And then all of a sudden, just happened to coincide with just randomly getting into it again a little bit and watching those with a sale on Xbox One for the UFC game for only $10. I was like,
is that the new one?
The one, yeah, it's been out for a little bit, but newest,
Newish,
newest
probably
EA
like
Sports
July
UFC,
or something like
whatever.
that. I think all sports games come out in like summer.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, fuck it, $10. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll go ahead and buy it. And I played it, and I have not been disappointed. It's been pretty exciting. Starts off a little more difficult, and then as you progress your guy you create and have a career and whatnot, and I'm currently fucking like 10-0 with them, so fuck yeah. Getting all the main cards.
Nice.
It's kind of ridiculous and stupid. They have, like, after, like, any fight, if you get a win or if you have a couple wins, you're on a win streak, they have, like, random fighters do a little video of, like, oh, yeah, man, you put in the effort this week and you look badass. Way to keep it strong out there. It's like, fuck you, this is so gay.
You're
You're looking really tight this week, man.
And Dana White comes on there like, oh, I love the effort you're putting in there. You're going to get a main card fight this week. Don't fuck it up, man. Keep working hard. It's like, yeah, I'll keep pressing those buttons. My thumb's pretty good. Yeah, I got you. I'll keep working.
Steroids.
Yeah, it's like I'm really putting the fucking full workout effort in. I feel good.
The only instance of something like that actually working is in Forza, the racing game for the racing simulator for like Xbox One and all that stuff, is that they have Jeremy Clarkson and actually James May and Richard Hammond, the guys from Top Gear UK, whatever. Which Top Gear, if you don't know what that is, that's sad because it's the most popular show in the whole fucking world. So suck on that, everybody, including you guys at this
And
cast.
the U.S. version sucks.
And the U.S. we don't talk about the U.S. version on this
they never
cast.
have.
There is no U.S.
It goes along with that other movie. So
Never had.
yeah. So anyways, they do a lot of commentary in the game, and it's all witty, hilarious shit, dude. It's so enjoyable hearing them go about that. But another thing, speaking of sales, they still have. Oh my god, it's been out for 6 months now or 9 months now. They have Titanfall on the Xbox One on sale for $10.
Like, not usually the regular version, like the Ultimate Edition is like $15.
The Ultimate Edition is $12.50, and that includes all the DLC content. $12.50. I'm like, come on, this game is better than that. Wow. But at the same time,
but
when
Destiny's out, and then all the new Call of Duties, which is the same shit. But I mean, like it's just not competing. I thought the game was fun, but it had that same 3-month rule because there wasn't an in-depthness to it. It just fell off.
But
I thought the game was well built and fun to play.
Solid.
I was never gonna buy it, but $12.50, like fuck it, I'll buy it for $12.50.
It's worth $12.50. You'll get a couple months out of it.
Yeah, you can get 15-20 hours out of it, no problem.
Yeah, I don't regret owning it at all. Like, I wish I played it more, but it's like Titanfall or continue to build my Destiny character.
I sold my Xbox 360 copy of it, the standard edition, for $25 at GameStop. At fucking GameStop. And now it's $12.50 on the next gen console for the Ultimate Edition.
You got out at the right time.
Jesus, dude, it's so silly.
I've never got $25 from anything at GameStop.
Okay, you know what they give you though for they give you that kind of money for is 3DS games. Because 3DS games never go down in value.
They don't.
They're always
good ones. Anything worth buying never
all the Marios, all the Yoshis, all the whatever, Pokemon. They'll give you $17 at least for like all of those because they're going to sell it for $35 and they will sell it and they'll never drop the price on it. So that's another score also.
That's true.
That's our Nintendo top tip out there. So anyways, it's just funny seeing that great game just like go down the shitter.
So I spent the $10 on that game and so far I've probably played it for a good 6+ hours, and for me, I've already got the money out of it, and I'm going to continue to play it some because it's fun enough. I mean,
so you get all fucking bloodied up and shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's pretty exciting when you can get the good vibration in your hands when you knock somebody pretty good, So that's a good feel to it. It's pretty fluid too. It's not choppy. It's pretty good about being pretty fluid with it all. So. That's what I've been up to, and then I lost my job, so.
Then you lost your job.
Things are real good in electrical world. Things,
I know.
Things just go, and I'm a larger guy, so working for a solar company. This last one I was with, it's like, we had a huge end of the year push if people want to get their tax rebate before the end of the year. You have to have it actually installed before then, and so that was part of it. But then they're like, okay, well now work is slowed, and I'm 6'3". Not super fat or nothing, but I weigh probably 300 pounds. I mean, I'm a big dude. A lot of muscle from sports and shit with it and whatnot. And to go on a Spanish tile roof that has like chintzy, horribly built Spanish tiles, I break a lot of tiles. So not really built for the solar world.
Right.
Sense. It doesn't
you
really work out.
You gotta be like 160 for that.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's a lot of attic work. And it's like, I'm a larger guy, but I have very broad shoulders to try to crawl through fucking attic spaces and shit. It was funny. One of the foreman fucking was pulling wire, and he got caught on something. He stepped back and put his fucking foot through the ceiling at this like multi-million-dollar La Jolla home. It was hilarious.
Fantastic.
That's what you get, you little jerk.
There goes our fucking profit margin. Sweet.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not working there anymore. Whatever. I don't really give a shit.
You're on the books though, and the books are
for apprentices. There's a couple apprentices on the books right now,
no big deal.
I'm not too concerned. I'm just like, you know what? I'll go ahead and get the unemployment going right now and get some more magic going. So
there you go.
Good time to buy a box.
Work out.
No job.
Yep. That's what credit cards are for. Bad decisions.
No shit.
And that's what I did.
Yeah. So
nice.
My week, nothing really happening. I mean, like I've been trying to purchase a home to live in, and so that process is a total dick hair. I mean, if anyone out there has bought a home, which I'm sure there is, it's a fucking pain in the ass, and banks do not. They just don't give a shit. Every little thing matters. It's just crazy. One of the girls was saying today, like, there's a form, right? And the first page of it's a 4-page form, 1 through 4, right? And so the bottom of it says 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4. So the reason I bring that up is because if you bring the first form in, which is the form that all that matters, the other 3 forms don't matter, but you have to bring in all 3 forms. So or all 4 forms. So if they see 1 of 4, they're like, well, wait a minute. This thing has a 1 of 4. Where's the other 3? And it's like, yeah, but that doesn't. There's nothing that pertains to this. It's like, no. We have to have all those forms. And it's like, well, okay, like it doesn't matter. But every little thing matters. I try to get a certain loan, and because of I'm going to be gifted money from my family, that they will not allow me to do the loan anymore because they do not accept a gift in the loan. I'm like, Yeah, but money's money, right? Like if I give you money for down payment, then that's money for the down payment. They're like, no, you have to have the money on your own. You have to show that you incrementally built it up over the last year or two, and you have to prove it with all this other stuff, and make sure any money is like totally accounted for, and W-2s from back before you were born, and all this other shit. And I'm like, oh my god, can I just show you my W-2 and my paychecks and like whatever else and like my credit score? Is that not good enough? That's not even half of it. Like it's not
that's not even the surface.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, god damn it. So I'm doing all that shit.
I want your firstborn while you're at it.
It's all that. It's so much shit. So we have that going on, me and the girl. And then me and the roommate, Mr. Raheem, we beat Reach this week. Halo Reach. So that was awesome. Enjoyable game. And the graphics totally hold up. That's one of those things like Xbox 360 to like Xbox One or PS3 to PS4. It's just not that crazy yet, you know.
Not that big of a leap.
No, I'm sure that like it's more stable and like you're not tapping all the power of the processor and the memory and all that stuff. But so far, like playing Halo Reach, which came out in like I don't even know 2009 or something like that, totally fine, totally acceptable. So we were doing that, and then I played a bit of Transistor.
I saw that. I saw you were playing it on Steam.
So it is. If you ever played the first one made by these guys, what was that first game? Bastion. Mm-hmm. Bastion is like beautiful. It has the best music in gaming, basically, because it's all like original songs. It's not like background boom ba-da-dum shit. It's like fucking songs with singing and everything.
Yeah, and guitar
and like all the whole thing, and it just fits like the battle vibe of the game. And this game is it's even better to look at, and it has this really cool style. It's kind of like VATS in Fallout 3. VATS is like where when you hit a button when you go into combat, and you're able to target what part you want of the person, and then you just like hit the go button and it does the work for you. So it's like it has a strategy game built into the combat system. This has the same thing or similar thing where every like 4 seconds or 5 seconds the system recharges. You click the button and you're able to plan out your attacks. So there's like 5 enemies all around you. You have 4, like kind of like Diablo style, you have 4 attacks you can do, and you can change those attacks at all you want. And then you can put like same thing like the little like gem emblem type things to like boost up each attack in whatever direction you want it to go. And then you can just go ahead and sequence those attacks. If you like do 1 and then 2 and then 1 again, it triggers a combo, so each one gets a little bonus in damage and all this stuff. And you can also move during that combat sequence, and it'll like take up your meter. You have this full meter. One weapon or whatever will use up 20%. Walking will use up 10%. Another weapon will use up 50% because it's real powerful. And then you click fucking go or whatever. And then it'll like run through this. The enemies are like super slow-mo. It'll run through the sequence. You'll fuck them up. And then it'll go back where you have to just like sprint and run around and all that shit like that. No, Transistor.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, it's just a really good-looking game. It's fucking cheap because it's just downloadable, whatever. It's normally priced at $20, but it's always on sale for $7.50 or whatever. So I picked it up for that price, and it's fantastic. And then the music itself, you're able to like unlock it as you go, as you beat like the skill like simulators or whatever. So like once you beat a couple like levels or whatever, then you can go walk through this door. You go to this really like serene area where you go to relax. There's like a hammock and a little dog you can play with, like a beach ball you can bump around. It's weird. It has this like ambient music and the sun in the background you can like stare at and all this fucking weird shit. And then you can go through these different doors and it goes to training simulators. Every time you beat one, it unlocks one of the songs you've heard to just listen to whenever you want.
Oh, that's kinda cool.
And so it's cool that you can unlock like a 20-song soundtrack as you go. And then then you can go like sit in the hammock and like play a song, and then you just like sit there with the controller in your hand, just like listening to this badass song.
Yeah, I remember Bastion. I like Googled some of those songs.
Yeah,
because they were just that good. Like I wanted to hear it again and again.
Exactly. They have the soundtracks for sale. I think it's like $6 for the soundtrack or something. Yeah. So it's totally worth it.
If you like that kind of you're making movements and then you slow it down and make a strategy type of deal, you really need to check out the Bureau from XCOM to Classified. The Bureau. There's a game called XCOM Enemy Unknown where it's a downworld view of a kind of like a Fire Emblem where you move a character at a time, you shoot And, it's a specific like chess style game.
You're talking about XCOM Enemy Unknown?
That's what I'm saying.
I heard that game was about rape.
Yeah, that game was definitely about rape. I don't think he was there for that. I don't know if he was there for that.
I was not there for that.
Check out a previous episode for that one. XCOM was definitely about rape, and so is McDonald's.
Anyways, this is the first-person version of XCOM Enemy Unknown. That's the BRO XCOM Declassified, and I found it very enjoyable. It didn't get all kind of high ratings.
It got shitty reviews.
But if you enjoy that style of chess-style Fire Emblem strategic maneuvering play,
absolutely,
this is that, but first-person. So it gives it a whole different viewpoint and style of play. So while you're still running around first-person style, but you go into battles and you have like your underlings that you control and say, hey, flank this side, set up a turret, and then shoot at this guy. So
that game's super cheap right now too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's worth it. It may not be like the best graphics and shit like that, but as far as gameplay itself, it is very enjoyable. And considering how cheap it is, it's definitely worth the $5 or whatever it is to buy it.
Once I get some time, it'll be worth looking into. I still haven't beat Enemy Within, the expansion for Enemy Unknown. So I haven't beat that yet. I gotta get
if you want to play on 360, you can just borrow my copy.
Yeah, I'll just buy your copy. Screw it.
It's worth a play.
One last thing about Transistor. Did they have any kind of narrator like Bastion?
Fuck yeah, they had a narrator. The narrator, I didn't even mention this. So you're this chick, and you're named Red, and you're like this singer that got her voice stolen from her, so she's like mute right now.
Uh-huh.
She can like hum, but that's it. So anyways, you carry around this like Final Fantasy VII sword around with you. The sword's so big you have to drag it on the ground. Well, the sword is like a computer program, and it talks. That's what the narrator is.
Okay.
And every time it talks, like the sword like glows in that robot function, whatever.
Yeah.
So it has that, and that's the narrator of the whole thing. And so, yeah, it's the same thing as Bastion, where it's like super casual, and it's just kind of like a lot of the conversation is like meaningless to the story or to the moment you're in right now. It's just kind of like environment like awareness, and he's just kind of like talking about, oh man, look at that sky, or whatever, all this other bullshit.
Look at that sweet ass.
Look at that sweet ass.
Drag me a little further behind.
Yeah, I'm not feeling so well. I'm not feeling so well, Red. So all this shit like that. Yeah, it's totally enjoyable. It just makes
I'm gonna play that shit.
The game just makes you feel good, just like Bastion. Bastion just makes you feel good,
Yeah,
so it's all really, really fun. Oh, last thing. I watched that Live, Die, Repeat movie. The what the hell's the original title of it? Oh my God.
Tom Cruise
one? What the hell's it called?
I heard actually it was good, though.
Dude, it's fucking good.
Getting the name.
I can't remember what they changed the title. The movie did so bad in the box office that they changed the title of the movie, and when it came out on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So now it's called.
But I actually heard it was a really good movie.
It's the spacey one, right?
Dude, it's it's like Starship
like Emma
Troopers
Fox or something like that.
I don't know. Starship Troopers meets, say, Cabin in the Woods, or like
that fucking movie.
I know, I love that movie. Or like just Starship Troopers is fun.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, dude, that's
it's
great
serious.
movie.
Yeah, it's like serious. The story is like it's a serious thing. Like humanity's at stake. This is the same thing. Humanity's at stake. But the way they do it is just like a little bit goofy, and they make it fun. And they just make the whole movie just fantastic. So yeah, I totally recommend it, man. If you haven't seen that movie,
that was some great propaganda in Starship Troopers. That was a great movie.
It's a great movie. So it's like it's got this extra little, it's got a little campy feel, and it's just fun, man. It's really fun.
Good.
But it also has like this big science background, and so like has this complex time manipulation type thing behind it. So if you're not really into that kind of stuff, maybe it's not your movie. But if you are,
I wonder if it is so bad because people just like are all about hating Tom Cruise still.
Probably.
Yeah. I think it's cool to hate.
I think he's a good actor, dude.
Look, a lot of his movies are actually pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, he's a fucking nut job.
He's a little crazy,
he's
but
a good actor. If you go back to a lot of his stuff, he's made a lot of good movies overall. Sure, he's made shit. What actor hasn't? But
dude, Richard Gere had a gerbil up his ass. People still like him,
right?
Like, come on, it's fine.
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Allegedly. Sorry, Richard. Sorry if you're listening.
I sold him the gerbil. It's not allegedly.
All right. Anyways, and then we'll finish it off with Knife.
What have I been up to? Well, went out to Universal Studios for the day with the girlfriend for our 4-year anniversary.
That was your first time there, right?
That was first time there.
Oh, Universal Studios.
And it was pretty cool. Like, it's kind of what I thought it would be, or what it was explained to me, where it's not like Disneyland where you can go like a couple times a year. It's like there's only, a handful of attractions, and it's mostly the, I don't know what the name for it is, but it's like, there's a screen in front of you.
Like the motion. whatevers.
Yeah, the motion
in the
whatevers.
ocean?
That's,
Yeah.
No, where like it's like a 9-person seating thing, and then the seats move according to what's going on the screen, so it makes you feel like you're in a real roller coaster, and there's wind coming at you and stuff like that.
It saves a lot of money on a real roller coaster.
Yeah,
A lot of money.
It's clever thinking.
But it was pretty cool. They had this whole like Simpsons town theme going on, and went on the Simpsons ride, and it was cool. Like I forget, like somehow Maggie gets to be like super huge, and then so you're like in this bus or whatever. So she grabs the bus and starts sucking on it, and
Very good.
Yeah, you're getting hot sauce.
I practiced.
All worked up from all his child porn. You're getting them too excited right now. Be careful.
So, but when you went inside Maggie's mouth, it smelled like baby powder, like they shot, or baby wipes. So
In her mouth?
no, like the
In her
smell.
ass?
God
You
damn
can't
it.
casually say when you went inside Maggie's mouth.
When all 9 of you came inside Maggie's mouth.
Well, that's not appropriate.
So like they shot like the smell of like baby powder, baby wipes into the air when you went in there. So it was like it made it really like real,
Sensation,
Very, very,
the sensation of a real baby.
Okay, I'm just. I'm not gonna save this. I'm not gonna, there's too many holes in the boat. I'm just gonna let it sink, go down with the ship.
No, what was the next part of it?
What happened
Hot
then?
sauce is instant. You can't leave him hanging like that. You got to finish them off.
And they had like the Quickie Mart and everything. Got my brother a shirt for his birthday. One of his favorite quotes is "You don't win friends with salad," and it has a picture of Homer with the barbecue tongs or whatever. It's a quote from like the 7th season or something like that. But I got some Duff energy drinks, which was awesome. Had to get 2, one to drink right there, and then one to save. And
How was it?
it was actually pretty good. It wasn't horrible like I thought it was going to be.
Was it a Red Bull? Was it a Monster? Was it its own thing?
It was kind of its own thing. Like, imagine like a U.S. energy drink that wasn't shitty. One of those, but
Right.
still kind of shitty. So anyways, there were some other cool attractions.
Hey!
There was dogs barking. It sounded really real.
Yeah. God damn it.
Dude, one of my
like we're
favorite
there.
episodes of Simpsons of all time is they're at the baseball park for the frickin' what the hell they are, and Homer is on a fast.
Yes, that's what.
And he's
Hungry Homer.
Yeah,
that's
he's
the
like-
name of the episode.
He's like fasting for all of like 20 minutes, and he's like chained to a light post. He's like reaching for a hot dog stand, and just freaking out. And they're like, "What's the commotion down there?" And Duffman's standing there, and he goes, "I am thrusting in the direction of the problem." Like that little scene right there, I think is so fucking hilarious as he's thrusting his crotch at Homer.
So yeah, there was Transformers, which was pretty cool, and then we did the whole the tour of the little Universal City of the stages of all the.
Did Jaws come out at you?
And Jaws came out at us, and we learned a little bit of history of what scenes were shot where and all that stuff, and so it was a pretty cool day. I mean, we got there at like 11, and we left at 6, so. It's a good day of walking around. We got to hit up almost every single attraction there was, and took some cool pictures. And then the next day, it was a 2-parter. We alternate what years who pays for our anniversary. So this year it was her year to pay for it and plan it all out. And so it was kind of a mystery. I didn't know where we were going to go, so. We woke up the next day, went to IHOP for breakfast, which, I mean, I'm not that big of a fan of IHOP. It's kind of white trashy, but, like, for some reason I was like, man, you know what sounds good? Some white trash breakfast right now.
It's like, how can you get more poor man's than Denny's? I mean, I like Denny's, but I mean, to go to IHOP, I agree. It's okay, whatever.
I
It's not
expect
horrible,
to see,
but it's like
hungover people
Right.
that throw up on the ground,
Yeah, right.
probably. You know?
I feel like they think they're classier than that, though, which is awkward,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're not.
Yeah, they're totally not. It's like, those poor people who get, like, the really old, like, Mercedes, and they think they're, like, hot shit.
I totally agree with that. It's not classier, but people think it's classier.
Yeah.
I love that. We're like, Target is classier than Walmart. There's no getting our shit.
yeah.
But IHOP, they think they're Target. They're not Target.
Yeah. Not even close.
That's it. IHOP. We're trying to be Target.
That's probably the best analogy I've heard all year long. So we went to the Miramar Speed Circuit after that, which is think about like go-karts, but on fucking crack. It's not like your
not your family fun center.
It's not your family fun center, your little miniature golf.
Let's call it Bullwinkles and give it some. Bullwinkles, no shit, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
That was fun.
But these are like some serious hauling-ass go-karts, and
they do 40 miles an hour in the straight.
Yeah. So she's never been on them. I've been on them a couple times. We used to go all the time back in the day. And so after a nice full breakfast of IHOP,
great plan.
So she paid for 2 races. We go on the first race. And even I'd forgot how fast they went,
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I don't even have a seatbelt on. Like, they don't have seatbelts, They put helmets on or whatever. But I'm like, hauling ass. But there's like the other people in our race, they're like kids. And you could tell like they'd been there before because they were just like knowing all the curves and when to pass and all this fucking shit, stop and go and brake and
so you're
whatever.
saying you got your ass beat by 10-year-olds.
Yeah. So, and the shitty thing was, like, I felt my cell phone, like, press up against the side of the go-kart pretty strong during some curves. And after the race, I fucking go to take a look at it. It's fucking cracked.
Oh! That's it? That's the G's, dude.
Yeah, them G's, though.
You just got G'd, bro.
But, so after the race... as soon as my girlfriend took like her helmet off, I could see like she was nauseous.
Her face is like, well, eyes are crossed.
Yeah. And so I was like,
maybe you get your sex sticks on. Put that away. There's kids around. It's appropriate for this.
Man, that go-kart motor really gave it to you.
Man, I'm jealous.
She had a crisis.
But I was like, you okay? She's like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, you're not okay. I know you're not okay. Let's go outside and get some fresh air. So we went outside. And I was like, you know what? Let's just skip the last race because you look like you're going to puke. So skip the last race. Got our money back, obviously. Then we went to...
Well, I have one thing to say about Miramar.
Go for it.
Short story.
Go for it.
Were you there when I raced the little girl?
I did. You know what? Those years were kind of a blur, but go ahead.
Yeah. So we used to race a lot. And back when I was lighter, I was like 175, I would try and like my hardest to win. So I would win most races. The only race that I would lose, the only person I would lose to was Quickness, the guy in the podcast in the early episodes. So he weighed like 140 pounds or something like that, or whatever he weighs. So that's what matters a lot, is like weight matters a lot. Even though you have skill or whatever, weight matters a lot in that size cart. So it'd be neck and neck between us a lot of times, but I think that I had more victories than him overall. And we used to go and be like super competitive. So anyways, we go out with a group of friends. There's like 8 of us. We do the first race. It's like a Grand Prix race, whatever, right? So you do this. First place gets another round for free. So I won the race, so I get to go again. Well, it was end of the night, and there's one opponent, right? And it was a girl. She was like 11. Straight up like smallest girl ever, 11 years old. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then she's with her mom. She pulls out a helmet that is custom airbrushed dragon on it, like this pink and red, like $1,000 paint job dragon on this helmet made for go-karts. And I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, absolutely. Like, what does that mean?
Already intimidated more than
yeah. I get the stock fucking triple extra large padded helmet.
It says loner on the side.
The loser loner, whatever it says. And so we line up, just me and her, and they stage us up, and she... Okay, the track is only like 33 seconds long or 31 seconds long or something like that, if you do like a fast lap. And she got like a 29.8, and I got like a 31.2 or something like that. I'm like, holy shit! Like a second is like... she's really far ahead.
Yeah.
And she's like 20 feet ahead of me after a lap. I'm like, God damn it, dude. So it was a disaster. I felt like an asshole. And then she like spit in my face afterwards. I had the trophy.
You're such a little bitch.
She shot off the champagne in my face.
She flicked the quarter and get some practice.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But she obviously she knew what the fuck she was doing, and she also had like 100 pounds on me, so it all worked out.
Under you.
Under me.
Yeah. There was like the kids we were racing, their like dad was watching them, so when we got out the first race, like all the kids went over to the dad, and it was like serious business. Like it wasn't like, hey, we're having a fun time. It was like, you know, you could have cut a few seconds on turn 4 right there, and the kid's like, yeah, I know.
Dude,
and
best
like,
dad ever.
Yeah.
I want to be that dad. I want to be that dad so bad.
Don't be that dad.
Fuck that. All the other dads can be fun. I'm going to be like that guy. I'm going to improve those kids' lives. All their dads let them go fucking be smoking cigarettes at 12 years old.
I can't wait to coach my son's baseball teams because I'm not going to be that crazy, over-the-top competitive asshole dad who's just like, screaming in kids' faces. But all the PR shit now where they're trying to make it where like all the leagues are, oh, everybody's a winner. We don't keep score. It's all bullshit. That's not real fucking life. Real life, you have to compete. You have to fucking push forward. You want to try to do better. So we're going to practice hard. We're going to have fun and play hard. But you can't just be the freaking hippie piece of shit douchebag, but you can't be the crazy asshole like that guy. Like,
yeah, no.
You
Yeah,
could have done
find
better on
that
turn
fine
4.
line.
You
Yeah.
suck, little shit. You can't do that.
So what you're saying is you want to make him cry, but not a lot. You wanna
Cry
make-
enough to do better.
Whimper, whimper.
You bring me along, and when the kids are slacking, like, Jace, just get in there for 15 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll come in there, I'll whip them into shape, and then I'll be like, oh, that was too much, right? Okay, I'll back off, and you take over. Bring them back down a little bit.
Anything to get with little kids, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on here.
every-
Hold on
Let's
here.
make it 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Did I say 15? I mean,
Yeah. Is that shed with no windows still there?
Does that go against the court order you have?
I don't know. Tore that thing up long ago.
But yeah, we went to Dave and Buster's after that. I haven't been to Dave and Buster's in a long time, but they had like big arcade games that were cell phone games. I couldn't believe it. Like Cut the Rope and what's the fruit one? Fruit Ninja.
You know they have Guitar Hero too.
They have Guitar
That's another
Hero.
one that pisses me off.
Yeah, and the guitars are all fucked up.
And they're not
always.
even a full song.
Yeah.
They just limit it whatever the price is. Like that buys you 2 minutes and 50 seconds or whatever.
Yep.
That's it.
So I went and played like she was all about like the tickets. I was like, I don't give a fuck about the tickets. I want to go play like fucking Pac-Man and
Hey,
fucking.
you want some Laffy Taffy? I'll go buy you Laffy Taffy.
it'd be a lot cheaper than putting all this money into the machine to get it.
Exactly. But they had a Mario Kart there, which was pretty cool. So
Yeah, Mario Kart.
had some fun there. Then we went to. We just hung out for a while, and then we went to Benihana's for dinner afterwards.
Fuck yeah.
Benny Hot.
Very nice. There's we got the same chef we got last time, which is this. There's no.
Was he Mexican?
Oh, they're all Mexican.
I don't think I've ever been to Benny Hana's and had an Asian chef.
I was just gonna say there are no Asian chefs.
I went to Monterey.
That's asking
Monterey
too
had an
much.
Asian chef.
Okay.
And you believe it.
Then
Was
the
he good though?
importer-
He probably sucks.
Yeah, they had to import him.
He's on loan. He's on
he made
loan.
fucking carne asada. I'm like, what are you doing?
You know what you are.
But yeah, of course he was Mexican, but he was like the other guys like try and pretend almost to be Asian, but this guy is like totally like, I know I'm Mexican.
Yo, I say what you want.
He's safe, right?
He's just like Asian guacamole for like the like wasabi or whatever and like all this other stuff. So
That's pretty cool.
It
Hey,
was-
did you see that little pile of like yellow white stuff on the corner that they always take off a little slab of it and throw it on there to cook it in?
yes,
You know what that is?
what is it?
Butter.
It's fucking butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Why
it's
would it
fun-
not be
no,
butter?
It's just funny because they take off like a stick of butter per like item. They're just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They have this pile of like 20 sticks. And they just like scoop off a huge bunch, throw it on there, and they make like 6 shrimp with it. And you're like, Jesus! It just didn't click with me. I thought it was like some kind of shortening with
Lard.
Yellow amount of malleable substance. I'm gonna go with butter.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
It tastes so good.
A lot of
But
butter.
that much butter, my God,
Yeah.
it tastes so good. They didn't even like cook it right.
They
It's
put
like,
Paula Dean to shame.
yeah, dude. They don't even like care if it's like, oh, is it raw? Is it fucking whatever? Overcooked? They don't care. It's like it's full of butter. You're fine.
Yeah. Of course, it tastes good. There's butter in it. So that was fun. We had a little weekend fun, and not much else going on. I mean, I played most of the games I played. It was mostly the MTGO beta. I've just been brewing like a madman on there. But so exciting news! Just not even an hour ago, maybe. Doesn't matter. I went and picked up my anniversary present. My girlfriend got me a laptop for our anniversary, and so I had to do like some errands today and shit. And I got home, and there was a sign on the gate, oh, we tried to deliver it. We'll try again tomorrow. I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking be here tomorrow, goddammit. So I called, hey, can I go pick it up somewhere? And they're like, yeah, come to the warehouse and come pick it up. So I raced over there and raced back from the cast. So sitting here with a sweet, brand new Lappy Toppy, except, laptops are expensive. I didn't want, the top of the line. And also, I just, Windows 8 might be awesome, but I'm not ready to go to it. It's not
awesome, no. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's really annoying to deal with, just so I'm happy you didn't get that because it sucks.
I mean, it sounds like a piece of shit, but I heard there's ways to make it look and act like Windows 7.
It's a new fancy shit, but it's horrible to deal with. The interface is bad.
Exactly.
Then why Windows 8 if you want it to be Windows 7?
Exactly.
Pain in the ass.
So pretty much I got it's like a i5 processor with Windows 7 and 12 gigs of RAM, terabyte hard drive. So, I mean, it's basically all I need it for. It's going to play Moto. It's going to play my little shitty Steam games and porn. Definitely plays porn.
Right, there you go.
Hey, now. So,
watch that Brazers in HD. That 40-year-old bitch is looking horrible.
And it's like a 17-inch screen, so, yep, 17-inch porn.
They're still
I don't want to know.
Yeah, they're still small, but it makes my penis look huge in comparison.
Put it all next to the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I tower over you. I'm gonna teabag this chick.
Take it.
No, it's like Godzilla. Like I'm tearing down the village with it. Oh no, Godzilla!
You don't even get off anymore. You just do that, and then we're good.
I'm good.
This is what porn's for, right? Just bashing genitals around the screen.
I just play with it like I'm like a kid's toy or something. Like not even.
You have no idea. No idea.
This is what you do with it, right?
You don't even get boners yet.
Did you fuckers see the dick pic on Twitter today?
Oh my god, fucking Kevin Metal's dick pic.
Oh, I had it on there?
Yeah.
Like straight up his dick.
No.
Well, he goes, censored for your entertainment, but you see you can see the fucking head of it.
Yeah,
around
you can
it,
see
you can see his cock ring.
You can't see the slit, but you see ridges and you see the big fucking cock ring. Like that fucker was big cock ring.
Okay.
I was like, what
that cock ring, I mean.
That cock ring was
What
big.
gauge was it? What gauge?
I don't even know, but it was like, Jesus, doesn't that like weigh it down? I guess that's how you get strong. That's why you get stronger.
That's the African tribe.
That's why he can do the wristwatch.
Yeah, I thought that was disturbing.
Yeah, so shout out to him.
Shout out to Kevin Metal's cock ring.
Let's get into the episode.
Yeah,
and
it's episode 24, cock rings.
That shit was hilarious. I listened to the episode when Gumby made a comment about him making a fucking wristwatch with his dick on him, and Matty CD goes, "What? Your cock's big enough to do that?" It's like, oh, dude, you can't. You're admitting on air so much you have a tiny cock that it can't go around somebody's wrist. Like
I'm thinking like a pinky ring.
They're like trying to hold him back. He's like, "Oh, you're a grower, not a shower, right?" And they're trying to
they're trying to
give him it out. He's like,
They're like, dude,
tiny dick.
You just like stretch it out. You can't stretch it over your wrist. I mean, if you're like just flaccid, no stretch, boom, over the wrist, hanging down, like good for you.
Yeah.
The rest of us, we gotta do a little stretching.
Yeah, if you go like over the wrist and into like your pant pocket. You got
like it's an old
wrap around my
school
leg.
pocket watch, from like the Western, goes across your vest,
Oh god.
Throw it in my vest pocket.
So let's move on to some actual Magic discussions. We had a SCG. Well, was it an open? Was it a top 8?
It's like
not
the road to the player's choice, whatever.
We had an SCG
Road to Players Champion's Choice.
Yeah, we had an SCG tournament this past weekend. So it looks like it's the StarCityGames.com standard. That's not what it's called.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Thank you, Knife.
Okay. So we have the list. It's Star City Open in Washington, D.C., and it happened on January 24th.
Yeah, and today's the 29th.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to give you some frame of reference.
So it was a pretty sweet tournament because it's the first tournament after the new set, so you get to see the new cards.
You sat down and watched all of it, right?
I seriously watched. I have a lot of time off.
Right.
And you can only masturbate so much. So I watched a ton of it, and they have it like on replay. If you go to twitch.tv and you go to the SCG Live, you look at SCG Live, you can look up this weekend, and it has all like 33 hours of the SCG Open.
Just like on a constant loop.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, you have to click play, and then you can actually search through it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's even better than that because then you
The
can
perks of being unemployed, right?
Yeah, perks of being unemployed. I know all these things now.
So we got to see all the awesome new brews. I mean, fuck. Let's go straight to number 1.
It was sick, man.
What took it down?
Soul Tie Control with Gerard Fabiano, which I've seen him before. He's been playing for like ever.
He's a writer on SCG.
He's super. Is he?
Yes,
okay.
he is. Yeah, he actually wrote that he was going to play that deck a couple days before playing the tournament itself.
So
he's just a cool guy too.
He is. He's super. He also doesn't do like the crazy flipping with his cards and all this crazy nonsense. He just sits back, takes his turns sort of slower and just at a regular pace, and I just enjoy watching him play the game.
He's not socially awkward at all. He did the interview afterwards,
Yeah,
and he's
super
like,
cool.
He's, funny, comedic about it, fluid, not like all super nervous and.
Yeah.
So shout out to Fabiano.
Yeah.
So,
Fabs.
yeah, exactly. So this deck, it's a control deck. It's a control like Planeswalker deck. It has 2 Ashioks, 1 Garruk, Apex Predator, 2 Kiora, and 2 Ugin. And then the rest of it is Satyr Wayfinder, 4 of those, which is the only creature in the deck. And that thing is just like pumping. It's just like finding lands in the early game so he can get to Planeswalkers, and then throwing shit in his graveyard so he can trigger off all his other shit. So all his dig through times and all that nonsense. So
yeah, instance and sorcery wise, he's running 4 digs, 4 Bile Blights, which
that's kind of
I was really
calling that meta right there.
But he knows the meta. Yeah, he's calling
exactly.
it out.
He's got his finger on the pulse of the meta. 3 Heroes Downfalls, 2 Thoughtseize, 2 Sultai Charm. Glad to see that's getting play. 2 Murderous Cut, 2 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Crux of Fate, 2 Rakshasa's Secret.
Yeah.
What?
See, this card sells for 2 cents on TCG. So target opponent discards 2 cards, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. So it helps out with the Delve strategy, Murderous Cut, and Dig Through Time, and some of his sideboard.
At one point, I watched him play back-to-back Day Through Times. This guy's all about throwing shit in his graveyard.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, he uses the graveyard like crazy, which is awesome. He just abuses it, and it's like it works out great for him.
And he even has a singleton of Interpret the Signs. I actually had to look this up because I had no idea what it did.
You didn't know what it was? Okay.
I didn't know. So it's 5 and a blue for a sorcery. It says scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. Draw cards equal to that card's converted mana cost. So, I mean, he does have like a lot of high converted mana cost cards.
Treasure Cruise.
Garruk.
Yeah, Dig Through Time would be like the shit right there.
Every time I saw him play it, he drew plenty of cards off of it.
Exactly.
But when I watched it, it was game 2 of a match. So I watched him with his sideboard cards, so which I thought was super relevant.
I'm going to start off with one thing about the sideboard. This is for Ryke. This is for Ryke. He has 2 Feed the Clans.
Oh, dude, you called it.
You called it, dude.
Feed the clan.
Instant.
Now we can't even make fun of you anymore.
Instant. For 1 and a green, you gain 5 life for 2 mana. Ferocious, you gain 10 life instead if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. So he had this in his hand. He never played it, but he had it in his hand. And everyone, the announcers are like, Feed the Clan, what the hell is Feed the Clan?
They're like desperately like typing away. What the fuck is this card?
So you didn't call it against the aggro decks and just the burn.
It's sideboard tech.
It's so funny that you have that.
Definitely some sideboard tech.
Sideboard 101, baby.
But he had 1 Thoughtseize in the sideboard, 1 Sultai Charm, 1 Pelucranos, and this is the biggin. 2 Tassiger the Golden Fanged.
That thing fucked
Beastly.
bitches up.
That did work.
It did crazy work.
That is the surprise big going off of the weekend tournament here. It's
he went up from
jacked up in price.
He went from $3 to now he's at $7.50, but really I don't think you get him. I think you put more like $9 to get him right now.
So let's go through the rest of the board and then we'll come back to Tassiger. He has 1 Sulamagar the Drifting Death.
That 3/7 hexproof when it attacks -1/-1 to all creatures, all other creatures.
The Dargon. 2 Negates, 2 Feed the Clans, 2 Farika's Cures, 2 Rakshasa Death Dealer, and 1 Drown in Sorrow. So when I started tuning in and watching, he was just going off with Tassiger. So I'm not exactly sure what turn he got it out, but it's possible with Satyr Wayfinder to get it out on turn 3. So you have a 4/5 on turn 3 possibly, and then so you you delve away all the cards in your graveyard that you don't want to return back to your hand.
I called it, by the way.
Yes, you did. I agree with that.
Go on.
So you delve away the lands, you delve away...
well, you don't need to delve away the lands. You can, but you can leave them because that triggered effect does not
go
for its non-land cards.
Correct. So you delve away if you don't need any more Wayfinders, if you don't need any... you just...
Delve away Thoughtseize, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So on your next turn, you can pay his activated ability, which is 2 hybrid.
Yeah, 2 hybrid, green and blue.
And can you read it? I'm not sure exactly what it says.
2 hybrid. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then return a non-land card of an opponent's choice from the graveyard to your hand. So it's a way to... its value, you get draw an extra card, and you draw a card... And you can manipulate it to be a card of your choice, whatever's in your graveyard. And you manipulate it through delve cards, including himself.
So pretty much I saw... I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it was like, do I return his Murderous Cut or his Disdainful Stroke? It's like, well, fuck, both of those are fucking horrible to give back to him, So it was just ultimate, control value with that card. Like, you just keep getting back shit.
Yeah, same thing. He would hold this ability up to get to his opponent's end step, so that he would already done. He has a Disdainful Stroke in hand, so he's waiting for so and so to play Siege Rhino, and then they didn't. And he's like, oh cool, now I can activate this ability.
Yep.
Just on the back burner,
Yeah, this deck is pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It was
great.
It was just cool to see a completely different take on Sultai. You know what I mean? Because there wasn't really any.
Sultai hasn't been a big thing overall.
Besides the
meta.
Besides the Sidisi whip, Sultai hasn't really done much.
Agreed.
So
on Sidisi whip, they've been doing a lot of 4-color Sidisi whips. So
it doesn't really feel like Sultai at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't really. It's like
it feels like an Abzan deck that just throws Sidisi.
Abzan whip with Sidisi or something like that.
Pretty much.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the deck that came in second, which is Boros Burn.
We bring it up.
Comeback.
We bring it up. Well, it's red white tokens, but we bring it up because once again, this is a new deck. Even though it was around last year, now it's brought back thanks to Soulfire Grandmaster,
Monastery
Mentor. So now this thing is back to being a totally viable deck. It also has the deck. I can go through it. It just has Goblin Rabble Master, Monastery Mentor. Seeker of the Way, 1 Soulfire Grandmaster, Hordeling Outburst, Lightning Strike, Mammoth Jet.
No, they're playing 1 Soulfire.
Stoke the Flames.
Yeah, 1. I'm not going through what they have. Yeah, Stoke the Flames, Raise the Alarm. The new cards that it has is Valorous Stance, which is the choose 1 instant for 2, 1 and a white, and it's destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or target creature gets indestructible to end of turn. So it's this really good value.
Such versatility.
Yeah, it protects. Monastery or Soulfire or Goblin Rabble Master, or it kills the big shit. So it's just instead of, Lightning Strike only has so much reach. And now, past Lightning Strike, you can use Valorous Stance to kill everything above it, above that 3 toughness. So that's a perfect fit for this deck. It has...
Collateral damage.
2 collateral damage. You're playing tokens, though.
Yeah, I totally see it.
You're gonna with that Rabble Master, more than half the time, that first Goblin token that comes out is just gonna eat for no fucking reason. To the point where people say, okay, we have Rabble Master here. They don't even put it on the tables and know it's instantly.
They want to use it for Stoke the Flames, and then now they can use it for collateral damage.
Another 3 damage, Lightning Strike. If I get rid of that token, it's gonna die anyways.
And then the last
weird one is Outpost Siege.
Yeah, Outpost Siege.
Told you guys, it's a decent card.
You did say
whenever
that.
a creature you control leaves the battlefield, deals 1 damage to target creature or player.
That's Dragons. The Cons is a Chandra zeroing effect.
Exactly.
Yeah, exile the top card of your library until end of turn. You may play that card.
It is really good because if the board state is meh and whatever, and you don't know who's winning yet or whatever, then you go ahead and play Cons, and you just get card advantage out of it. If you feel that you have a lot of shit on the board, but you just can't get in, then you go ahead and play Dragons, and whenever one of your tokens dies, it does 1 damage to creature or player. So what happened in one of his games is he was up against the 2/2 with Death Touch, right? The what's that shit called? Heir of the Wilds. So if that was to block one of his 1/1 tokens, well, he would do an additional damage to it. Just like Festering Newt. You can't block a 1/1 with a 2/2 anymore because that extra point of damage will just kill it anyways. You know, so it made it where
it's not target. It's target creature or player.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
For 1 damage. So it made it really awkward for blocking. This guy felt that Heir of the Wild to be the shit against tokens or against really anything. If Rabble Master wanted to swing in, whatever wanted to swing in. But now it's like, oh, I can't even block a 1/1 anymore. Like, what's the point of me playing this card if I can't block a 1/1? So that happened, and he had to make some tough decisions, and it just didn't work out in his favor. You know, it was pretty funny. So that did do some work. I can see why that is such a powerful thing. And, you know, a red deck drawing more cards is always a good thing, because red, that's the whole point, is like, they don't let you draw cards because your shit's so fast.
Yeah, and so they run out of your nothing in hand, and to give you that chance of like, oh, I need to find my 4 more points of burn, here's my Stoke the Flames at the top.
It is 4 mana, though, and so it's definitely a later game card. It's not like it's like a win more card. It's not going to like... This is like your goal to get to. It's going to be like, okay, you drop this thing, sweet. This is going to help me a lot. But like, you should win without it.
It's good for like a stalemate situation. Because,
totally good for that.
Because you can get that extra damage through that you wouldn't normally be able to get through, and also you can, or you can choose cons, which is start getting that card advantage that red doesn't get too often.
But I feel like that's the issue with red aggro stuff and burn is they run out of fires so quick. They're like, okay, it's in my hand, your face.
Nope.
Well, now you got nothing in hand. You're just top decking, hoping to find more burn. Well, now all that's doing is by turn 4, when you've already blasted their face a couple times, going, okay, now I get an extra chance to continue to blast their face.
That. So I don't want to say you necessarily want to see it in your opening hand. You just want to see it maybe like after a few turns. Like opening hand, you probably want to like empty your hand. You probably want to like get everything out there and do what you can. But
I think 2's like the max you would put.
Yeah,
in the deck.
definitely.
I'm not trying to say 4 of for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not something you want to have a bunch of,
Right.
But.
So this guy did really well, though. I mean, like he just swarmed the board.
I really
Monastery Mentor just like took fucking over. If there was a board sweeper, and or not a board sweeper, but someone's going to kill Monastery Mentor, well, fuck it. He's just going to go ahead and pump up all his shit. He's going to go ahead and throw in Stoke the Flames and all this stuff, and he's still left with like 2 prowess tokens, and it just helped him out a ton. If you can't just Rabble Master it up and just swarm the board with be unanswered, even if it is answered, you save your instance for when it's going to get killed, and you still make other tokens, and they have to deal with that shit too. Mm-hmm. And those tokens are not 1/1s. They're 1/1s for now, but they grow.
Yeah, that prowess is a pain in the ass.
Exactly. I saw a deck with like Monastery Mentor and Jeskai Ascendancy. That's a fucking disaster right there. That was like where he had like one guy had a Siege Rhino out, and he had 18 health, and this guy had a Monastery Mentor out, and was able to win with just Monastery Mentor for 18. It hit for 18 because he had actually 2 Jeskai Ascendancies out. So like every time he did something, it would trigger. All those things would go up. 2 from the Ascendancies, and then another 1 from the Prowess trigger. He did like 3 spells, swung for like fucking 21 or something like that. It was just this disaster. So it was pretty cool, man. These cards are really good, I think. Well, only a few of them from Fate Reforged are really good, but they are really good.
They do talk about, though, that in previous like mid sets, like they'll go into that tournament the next weekend and there'll be like 0 changes. It'll be the exact same decks playing.
Yeah, Gatecrash probably did a little bit of that. We already know Born of the Gods did a lot of that.
And this very first weekend, like this is just the first weekend before other brewings, the cons set of continued malleability of the constant changes to the meta
you are
continue.
Right. It did totally change the meta.
Like so many different style cards. I watched a game where Warden of the First Tree actually just took off. The dude didn't have the answer for it right away.
That's
and it got bigger.
Andrew Boswell.
I love that guy.
I like that guy. Andrew Boswell is a good player. He plays decks like I play.
4 turns, that guy got pumped to full max ability and just raped. And that was it. And so that's another card just from Fate. That's just like, everybody's like, oh, this isn't really that good. Well, it can be. If they don't have the answer for it right then, it can be
those
that
motherfuckers.
Good.
So going down to the next deck is Abzan Aggro.
No, it's actually Blue-White Heroics, the next one. I have it as that's on 3rd place on mine.
Okay, so
anyway, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Let's go Azorius Heroic then.
Yeah, and that one. I mean, what do we got? Like, we don't want to talk about it. What's new? Nothing is new.
Nothing. Absolutely
damn.
nothing.
They didn't even throw Valora Stance in there.
No.
Really?
No.
So you know what? So fuck it. We're skipping past that one because really,
have
what you seen Blue-White Heroic? That's what we're playing right here. Okay.
It's actually pretty weird that it actually placed.
That
high.
No shit, huh?
With no changes, basically.
There's so much more added to Blue and White that I'm surprised they didn't throw a touch of anything in there. I mean, to throw another feat of resistance, essentially, but then gives you a chance for removal. Like, why would you not play Valorous Stance? That card is great.
It is really, really
great.
I do like that for white cards.
Oh, my God. If you have a white deck in any version, how do you not have that as a possible card? Right. I mean, that's so good.
So this next deck is Abzan Aggro.
You know what? I don't even want to look at that one, though.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Well, all I'm going to say is there's no new tech in it, except it has 2 mainboard Tassigers. That's it.
That's why we... Exactly. So this is why we get on to Andrew Boswell's version of Abzan Aggro.
Yes, I would like to see
that
one.
I thought this one would really get it going. It got like...
fifth place?
It got 7th place, right? Which, fine, whatever. But I thought it would even go higher. Like, I just loved the build of this. It had 4 Warden of the First Trees, that 1-drop mythic that can grow and grow and grow.
That's a 1-drop and has so many chances to do so much more for you. I mean, that's a hell of a 1-drop.
This guy's playing my list, by like this is totally what I would play. He's playing 4 of those. Playing 4 Soldier of the Pantheons. Fucking, that's what I'm talking about. Pretty ballsy. He's playing 4 Siege Rhinos, 4 Rakshasa Death Dealers, 4 Fleecemane Lion, 2 Boon Satyr.
Which is a great pump card.
It is. I think it's the killer thing, you know.
Love that card.
And then
does that have more to it besides being a 4/2 with Bestow? Is there anything else to it?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So
you can cast it with Flash.
Oh, and Flash.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the important thing. You're right. That is why it actually is playable because of Flash. It also has all those 3 Anafenza. It has 4 Abzan Charm, 3 Bile Blight, and 4 Valorous Stance. This guy is like all business. He was just like, I am going to swing in every turn, and I'm playing the most powerful cards for that mana cost.
Here's my dick in your face.
It is.
Do what you can do.
Absolutely that. So in his sideboard, he has pretty standard stuff. You know, he has like Hunt the Hunter, like if he's playing a green deck, you know, whatever. Drown in Sorrow, Glare of Heresy, Nissa, Murderous Cut, Thoughtseize, Utter End. Like it's pretty standard fare. He's just getting like what decks are out there and sideboarding appropriately. It's not surprising me. But I really liked watching his game with Warden of the First Tree, what you're talking about before, where he got it up to be an 8/8 with lifelink and trample, right? And so he ends up swinging in with it, and his opponent is like near 0, and so he has to block for sure. Like he's Andrew Boswell is like on the winning end, so he swings in, and the guy does an appropriate block for 8 damage, right? Well, you can trigger that ability again,
which the dude did not realize.
The dude didn't know.
Not realize.
So he had 6 mana open. He attacks with them, and he sees the block, and he goes like, "Oh, you didn't? I guess you didn't know." And then he just taps his mana,
"Hey, motherfucker!"
Makes him a 13/13 trampler, and then he says, "Yeah, 13/13." He taps it and puts it on there, and the guy's like, "What?" And he pulls the card away right away. You know, he's like,
"Son of a bitch!"
Yeah, and then he loses, and he's just like, you see him like putting his deck together and just shaking his head like, cannot fucking believe that just happened. You know,
Can't believe I just lost a Warden of the First Tree, motherfucker.
Yeah, you win. Fuck.
It was really fun seeing him hold cards in his hand and just be like, fuck it, I'm just going to build it up until he's answered, until you have an answer for him.
And then the guy never answered.
And the guy couldn't answer it. And so he just won the 13/13 lifelink.
If you don't have the removal for it, it can win you that game.
It was so cool seeing that thing.
The lifelink trample? Fuck you. Are you kidding me?
You want to see Christmas Land. And we saw Christmas Land.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Other than that,
that was a fun match to see.
He ended up losing to something else. I don't remember what, but you know, I just love his style of play, and I love those decks that he makes. 4 Valor Stance, just like once again, he's just all in.
That's a legit card.
Everyone's playing 2, and he's playing 4 because he didn't give a shit.
I know Fear Resistance is great because it pumps your guy up an extra, and you can kill him off without them realizing or this and that. But Valor Stance is just that much better because it's removal to it too.
Yeah.
That card, I don't know, like that blue-white does not change at all. Like how do you not play Valor Stance over Fear Resistance? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the extra pump and counter, sure, great, but that Valor chance of killing them off, like that's way better.
That's value.
That's way better.
So, like, one of the other things I saw is that he had a Soldier of the Pantheon out, and his opponent had an Ashiok. And so the opponent, he had whatever out, and then his opponent milled him 3 and got a Soldier of the Pantheon. And the thing is, this deck is playing nothing but multicolored creatures. He ended up Andrew was like, all right, I gotta make a decision. He ended up wasting 2 removal spells or something he had to do all kinds of crazy shit and waste his turn just to kill Ashiok, because if he was to -1 on Ashiok and get Soldier back,
he'd just be fucked.
He'd be fucked because he's a blocker for anything. It's blocker for all multicolored.
Yeah, right.
So he's like, well, I'm going to get stonewalled by this 1/1.
My own 1/1.
My own 2/1. So, like, I can't have it happen. So I remember the announcers were like, what's he going to do? Like, does he see that this thing's going to stonewall him? This little 1-mana creature is going to fuck his day up?
Asshole.
Yeah, so, Soldier is, like, not the best, but it is the ultimate blocker for this meta.
That's crazy. 4 is real.
It's pretty funny. Anyways, moving on.
So, I know I'm kind of skipping around, but down in 8th place is Sultai Control. Is that 8th?
8th, yeah.
So...
8th, yeah. Yep.
Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, nothing too crazy. You know, you got your Caryatids, your Coursers, Hornet Queens, Pearl Lakes, Tasigur, of course. Tasigur... Any deck that's playing black pretty much in the top 8.
By the way, I know where you're going with this, and I'm thinking the same thing you are.
So, Thoughtseize, Hero's Downfall, Dig Through Time, Crux of Fate, Treasure Cruise, Sultai Charm. Yeah, all pretty much.
Crux of Fate?
You know, no big deal. Ugin, of course, Garrick. Frontier Siege. Which one is that?
That is beastly.
Okay.
That's
Ugin.
That's like a next card
Tramp.
that's jumping up like a motherfucker like Tasigur is.
But he has a one of worst fears. What?
I don't understand. I don't even have like an opinion about this. I just don't understand what the fuck he's thinking.
So it's not even a delve card. 7 and a black.
Jeez.
You control target player during that player's next turn. Exile worst fears.
I don't know.
Why wouldn't I don't even know. Why wouldn't you just like fucking do the extra turn one?
I didn't see him play it. He had it in his hand at one time, but I didn't see him play it. I have no idea what the fuck he was thinking. He's a good guy too. I know. I've seen him too. He's where he does very well and gets a lot of top 8s and all this shit. He's been around for a long time, and he always makes very creative decks. But
just one of those like, oh, I really want to play this so bad. I gotta try it.
Well, we still got top 8.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm not saying the deck itself, but that card. He must have just gone like, man, Chris's land, I gotta feel it. I want it to happen. Please let it happen.
I mean, well done to him for actually getting to top 8 with it. But
I wish that we knew what the hell he used it for,
or if he actually got to cast it.
If he got to cast it, and if he did, like, what did he do with his turn? Because 8 mana to waste your entire turn when you could have cast an Ugin.
And what are you going to do if you use all your mana? I mean, you're attacking the one time, and then your next turn you just go about it again. Like, to use 8 mana, that's your whole fucking turn, mana-wise, spell-wise.
If you have 8 mana, and you have worst fears and you have Ugin, I guess, what do you do? What do you do? Do you do the Ugin? Do you do the worst fears? I don't know. It's so complicated. It's 8 mana. What do you want to do? Yeah, I have no idea why he plays this shit.
Guess you Ugin and then worst fears?
No, because Ugin, because Ugin, you'll just minus to kill all the shit anyway, so then you get his turn next time. What the fuck do? You have no permanence.
You tap all of his shit and then fucking pass the turn back.
Here's a question. Can you just tap his creatures?
No.
Without attacking?
No.
So then
I don't
what?
even know.
So then what? I don't even understand what the hell's going on.
It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, you just tap his mana and let the mana go out, but like, you just wasted your whole turn to waste his whole turn, and then you're back to your turn. What the fuck goes on here? How are you winning this game?
Maybe he has removal in his hand that you used on his own creature.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be fine.
Because it's all about, here's Deathfall's target.
That's true. That would be fine. But like, I'd rather just cast my own heroes.
I agree. I mean, I'd rather cast my own Ugin than deal with killing off his own creature. I'm not going to kill it with Ugin anyways.
Who the fuck knows? I have no idea what's going on with this guy, but either way, I could tell you one thing though is that Ugin was also a superstar of this tournament.
Oh yeah,
he was just wrecking bitches, dude. It was when that thing came out and the board was not so stable on his opponent's side. Well, Ugin would just win.
Yep.
We have Ryke quoted as Ugin never played, right?
Yeah,
just throwing it out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Planeswalker hater himself.
Yeah, I didn't think this card was that good. I still don't. I think it's still hyped right now. So
it
we'll
is.
see.
I think so too.
I just think it will go down from like $25 to $30 that it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like I have a Waste Not deck going, and you can talk to Hot Sauce. Has been doing pretty well against his fucking Abzan best
true.
of.
I think it'll still go down a little bit.
It's a good
and I'm
finisher for that deck.
Yeah, so I'm putting. I had the one. I just drew a second one. The second box I opened up, and I'm putting 2 Ugins in my Waste Not.
I think it is nice having Frontier Siege along with Ugin because that just like helps you that much. You know what I mean? And then you're playing Hornet Queen and Pearl Lake Ancient. Like it's just that Frontier Siege is pretty sweet. To be turn 5, and the next turn you can just guarantee, even if you're carried to dies or whatever, that you're going to be able to play this shit. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that card is pretty beastly.
Yeah, I saw him do it.
2 greens to it, like every phase, not like on upkeep, so you have to do whatever in phase. You got to play your hand as normal as you fucking want to. We're going to play your creatures in second main phase, all that shit. Doesn't matter, because every phase you get 2 fucking mana.
Exactly. So, okay, speaking of Frontier Siege, if there's no other decks, I want to talk about the ultimate deck of the weekend.
I actually just wanted to bring up one more thing.
Go ahead.
Jeskai aggro. He plays pretty much standard list, 2 Shaman of the Great Hunt. When I first saw this card, I was like, it looks good, whatever. But especially on the MTGO beta, I played against it. Shaman of the Great Hunt. It's a 4/2 for 3 and a red. Has haste. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. And it has ferocious 2 green-blue hybrids. Draw a card for each creature you control with power of 4 or greater. That last part,
I
whatever.
barely care about the ability itself, but that universal effect, dude, I'm telling you, is so fucking good.
I went up against a deck on the beta, and it was a token deck with this. And he just had, 6 1/1s out, and then just... boop,
swarmed.
Yeah. With this guy, boom, they all went 2/2s, and it was like, well, I'm
go
pretty
ahead and
much
kill
done.
2 of them off. Now I have 4 2/2s.
Yeah, I'm pretty
whatever.
much done next turn. So this card impressed me. It was kind of under my radar, or over my head, or under the chicken scoop or whatever. But yeah, it's impressed me so far. So take it away.
No, it was.
Take it away, Sauce.
So, we have another combo deck in Standard.
Oh,
Teamer
yes.
Ascendancy combo.
Yes.
Teamer Ascendancy combo.
I didn't actually get to see this played, so
I
I'm
saw it
excited to
played.
hear you talk about
So
it.
also on SCG, on their, I believe it's the SCG Live channel on Twitch, they do have the interview with the guy that made this, whatever, or not the guy that made it. He saw it on another website. I think he saw it on like MTG whatever website.com. Some shit that he already saw the deck list. But he got it and modified it to his liking, and then played it, and I think he got like 14th or something like that with it, and it just ended up where he just didn't get there. It's a combo deck, so you got to get to a combo. So this deck, I'll run through the cards, and then I'll explain the combo. So it runs 3 Teamer Ascendancy. First of all, that guy is the main thing for this whole deck.
And that's whenever a creature with 4 or greater comes in the field, you can draw a card, isn't it?
Yes, and also creatures you control have haste.
Okay, that's right.
So that's the main thing, because you're trying to ramp, and you have a lot of mana creatures to untap Nykthos or just generate mana on their own, and they come out with haste, so you're able to generate mana that turn to bring out big shit. So anyways, we have 3 of those, 4 Voyaging Satyrs, 2 Sylvan Caryatids.
Which one's a Voyaging Satyr?
A Voyaging Satyr is a 1/2 for 2 mana, untap target land.
Okay.
So you can untap Nykthos.
Exactly. So it's like Elvish Mystic.
Okay.
But instead of producing a green mana, you can untap target land, which would be Nykthos. So it's better in that way, even though it costs 2 mana. And it comes out with haste, so you're able to play Nykthos to bring him out, untap Nykthos again with haste. You know what I mean? So, anyways, we have 2 Sylvan Caryatids, and then other mana wrapper. We have 4 Elvish Mystics, and the funny one is wait. Where's it at? I'm looking. Something's wrong here. Why do I not have the thing that he used? Oh man, we're all fucked up now.
Sabretooth?
No.
Edit.
Yeah, pretty much.
God damn it.
You're on a roll.
Okay, something's wrong with this list. I'm not even joking. This list is wrong.
What do you have?
He had...
That blue enchantment?
Okay. I don't know where this list is wrong. I'm actually kind of screwed up right now. But he has, I think, 3 or something like that, of the... It's a 1/4 for 4 mana. Tap, add green mana equal to your devotion to green. Do you remember that guy?
Okay.
He's like a 1/4, 4 mana. Tap this guy, whatever your devotion to green is, add that much mana. So he would get his mana wrappers out there. He would play this guy on turn 4 or whatever with Teamer Ascendancy out. He could tap it right away for 4 mana or whatever else, and then use another guy to untap Nykthos, generate more mana, and then he would get to like 8 mana. He would throw out Genesis Hydra, bring out another creature. Both those creatures get haste. Then he can use Teamer Sabretooth, which is another one of those cards in this deck. Mm-hmm. That ability. It's a 4 mana, 4/3. Pay 1 and a green. You may turn another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, this guy gets indestructible. Indestructible doesn't matter. All it is that you get to tap your mana generating creature back to your hand, And with the mana, you bring out the mana creature, you tap it, you generate 5 mana or whatever. You pay 2 of that to bring that creature in your hand. Now you pay the other 2 of the 3 you have left to bring it back out of the battlefield. Okay, it has haste. Tap it again. Okay, now you draw 5 more mana. Use 2 of those to bring it back.
One extra mana each time.
Infinite mana.
You generate 5 and use 4 to bring it out again. You generate 5, use 4 to bring it out again. So you're always gaining 1.
An extra
and you just keep doing that forever, and then you're able to Genesis Hydra for like your entire deck if you want to. You're able to, I mean, like whatever you want to. You can bring out Eidolon Blossoms. You can bring out if you bring out Genesis Hydra and he's big, you draw a card. So like. You get a free creature. You get to draw a card. You still have like mana left over probably because you get to bounce something back. So anyways, what it does is just use all these mana guys to just bounce everything back to your hand that's mana. Play it again, generate more mana, bring out whatever, and everything gains haste. So basically, if he gets the combo set up, which is Temur Ascendancy and 7 mana. Is what the ideal number was. Magic number. He's able to just go ahead and play his deck infinite, bring out basically every creature in his damn deck if he wants to.
Swarm the fucking
He finally gets to Nylea, God of the Hunt, which gives everything trample, and then he swings in because you got to make sure you get in. So he brings out his Genesis Hydra, his other thing,
and he also has Pelucranos. He can monstrous
he
for a
doesn't
million.
have to have the Nylea just because if the way he bounces it and the way he's able to continue to draw cards by them coming out, he can then continue to play creatures. So say they've got 3 creatures on the board, you keep bouncing them in and out till you get 6 creatures that are then at that point, as big as they need to be, and they still get past it. Then 3 get chumped, and you still hit for the amount.
That's true.
Yeah,
obviously the trample would be great.
You use the trample, but then you also use his ability. So his ability, if you have infinite mana, his ability is pay, I think, 4 green mana, like 2 and 2 green or whatever, or 3 and 1 green, and you get to give target creature +2/+2. If you keep generating, 30 mana, then you get to get 1 creature with trample become a 30/30, even like an Elfish Mystic or whatever. Everything has haste, you go right in. So once the combo goes off and you start generating infinite mana, you're able to bring out the creatures you need and use Nylea, God of the Hunt, to give them trample and pump them as much as you want.
Yeah,
I like this deck a lot.
That's interesting. Very scary to go.
That's right up Ryke's alley right there.
It's just like the other Ascendancy deck where he has 1 creature out and you're afraid. You're at 18 life, he has 1 creature, you're like, okay, but he's going to have 5 creatures next turn, and they're all going to have haste, and they're all going to be bigger than mine. Like, you just don't know. So
that's pretty impressive.
The Temur Sabertooth, paying 2 and able to bring back, to tap for mana with another creature, bring that mana creature back to your hand, play it again, tap it again, bring it to your hand, tap it again. Temur Sabertooth's important. Temur Ascendancy is important because it gives it haste and able to, when it comes back that turn, you can tap it again. And then
draw another card.
Yeah, and then Nylea, God of the Hunt, is important because it gives it the reach to get past the creatures, no matter what size they are or whatever. And then Genesis Hydra for value, and that's the deck. So it was fan-freaking-tastic to see him go from 1 creature to 4, and watching. He was playing against. There's a really, really popular Magic player from SCG. I don't know. He kind of looks like us. I don't know what the fuck.
Handsome as fuck.
Handsome as shit.
Brad Nelson.
Brad Nelson.
Yeah. Brad Nelson.
So he's playing Brad Nelson. Brad Nelson.
Every man.
He has like 1 creature out, and he's just sitting there like, I guess I got to kill Temur Ascendancy. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but I got to kill something. Like I don't know what the fuck's happening. And then he ended up winning. He ended up getting his ass kicked game 1 because of the combo going off, and he's like, "Well, fuck me, then I guess." So it was really, really fun to watch.
So another card that was not in the list because for some reason that list isn't correct.
Yeah, so it's totally incorrect.
He also had Singing Bellstrike. What the fuck is that? You might ask.
That's in my waste not deck.
1 and a blue enchant creature. When Singing Bellstrike enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Enchanted creature has pay 6 mana, untap this creature. Why would you want to fucking play that? Well, he played it on his own creature. Why the fuck would you want to play that on your own creature? Because you pay 6 colorless and you can untap that creature. So
if you have 7 mana on the board, you go infinite that way.
Put that on your Voyaging Satyr, which untaps your Nykthos, which blah blah blah. Go and just another way to fucking get the combo off.
Nykthos generates 9 mana,
which was fucking crazy.
Nykthos generates 9 mana. Okay, cool. Use 6 of that to untap Voyaging Satyr, which untaps Nykthos. Okay, use the remaining 2 of the 3. Do Nykthos again, you drink another 9 mana. And then you just keep going off, and then once again you go infinite mana, and you play as many creatures as that mana will give you, and then you go in with haste.
Yeah,
I have mana in my deck just for against aggro guys, because that's my weakness in my wasteland deck is aggro.
That's really
So
cool. I like that.
I have that in there for that effect of like, okay, well, you got that guy on the board, well, fuck you. He's going to hold off, so I'll make you discard some more.
Ryke should like it because it's just teamer.
Yeah, I love it. I'm already building it right now.
Right up your alley. And
Putting
smart
it together.
maneuvers and big creatures, that's Ryke written all over.
Already
that
putting it together.
that was very interesting.
Straight
though,
up, though,
to
you should
see
play it.
I have everything.
Yeah.
I have everything it needs.
You should totally do it, man. Get it going and just see how much you can beat face.
Wow.
It was just
Sick.
It's really refreshing after last standard season where it was just so structured, where there was 3 top decks and then there was like a couple 1.5 decks and a couple tier 2 decks where like decks are just coming out of nowhere that nobody sees coming, and it's just week after week.
Brad Nelson had no idea what was happening to him. It was so funny.
And that guy brews like a motherfucker. That guy's a badass. That guy's cool.
So yeah,
He's made some good shit.
This was an awesome indicator of what we have to come in this format as of right now. So I thought it was super interesting.
Great.
I'm actually gonna go back and look at the SCG YouTube channel and like rewatch some of the matches because it was that interesting.
It was. So I think that pretty much wraps up the SCG. But really, anyone out there, get off this damn podcast when we're done and fucking go check it out because this is the time to watch. In a month, it'll probably be a little bit stale and we can't talk about it anymore. So
I don't think it's going to be stale. If you watch how Cons has been, the entire time of Cons, nothing got stale. It was a new fucking deck every week just about. Something new, some new finagled version of it, some new touch here, touch there. It's been a constant meta change non-stop. Like, I know I'm just getting into Magic overall, but knowing some past history of, like, the last blocks of how stale shit got in 3 fucking decks, and that's all it is, there's a new fucking winning deck every fucking week.
Yeah, true.
Where Abzan was this beast of a thing, now it's Abzan aggro. Now it's Jeskai combo, Jeskai tokens, Mardu control, whatever.
Mardu tokens,
there's
all kinds
constantly changing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet.
It's fucking awesome. I don't think it's going to be stale in a month, because, adding these new cards and people talk about how, like, the previous sets, middle sets just aren't as good, and, like, no changes happen, and blah, blah, blah. There's some good fucking cards in this middle set. And so I think it's going to continue to have a meta change non-stop.
I only saw, like, one Butcher of the Horde this whole time. I think one deck was playing Butcher.
Yeah, dude.
It's pretty funny. Like, Mentor of, Monastery Mentor, or whatever the fuck it's called, was, like, better. You know what I mean? Yeah. Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, the card's fallen off a little bit.
So, yeah, and it wasn't that expensive to begin with, but it is funny because that thing reads so awesome.
It's still
and then nobody's, like, playing it because they just got this shit now. Which I still think that card is, like, bonkers when it gets going, but still, it was pretty funny. So what do we got now? What's going on? Shifting it up.
So,
time to discuss our lovely lady.
So speaking of...
I already had a sweet segue, but I let it pass.
Let's just say it anyway. Go for it.
A sweet nod of the head, and I said, "See you next time, segue." But so
you finally had a good segue, huh? I know you don't say it.
I don't believe you.
You know what?
You're full of it.
I enjoyed it in my head. Okay, but
let's just pretend it didn't get fucked up and say it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is now.
No, yeah, well, you're full of shit then.
So I would say, the resident lore guy on the podcast. I like to read the e-novels and all the stories about Magic and everything.
Which I'm gonna fight you for that title of the resident lore guy, because after reading this story, I'm like, you know what? Like, I like the background stuff a little bit, but I never was like, oh, I have to read the stories and this and that. Reading Alesha's story, to me, I thought it was very well written. And it was very interesting to me. I thought it was great. So
just to let you know, before I think it was before Cons came out, or I forget when they did it. But they had the actual paperback novels, they had ebooks, they had comics, and then they had these articles that would come out on the Magic website called Uncharted Realms. Was the section that it came out on. And then just other various little parts is where they would let the story leak out, or where they would publish the story. And it was almost like you couldn't fucking get a cohesive grasp on, like, the linear story, because they would put out different parts. Yeah, it came out in too many different sources, so it was just really hard to follow. So now they've done away with everything, and everything that is lore related is going to come out on Uncharted Realms, on the Mothership, is what they call it, the Wizards website. So I was looking for something to fucking talk about on the cast, and I came across this story about Alesha, the girl who smiles at death. So I read this nice little story, and about halfway through or something, there was quite the revelation. Alesha was really born a boy.
So, knowing my previous episodes of Loving Trannies, I am so fucking excited about her. Oh my god. I want to play with her before, now I want to diddle her a little bit.
Play with her more, in real life.
Make it happen.
Gotta get a blow-up call or something.
So I'm not like the most...
Alesha.
I'm not the most PC person in the world, nor do I really... I'm an expert in the field of transgenderology. But it only really says that she was born a boy, and spoiler alert, she was born a boy, and that when so in the Mardu clan, when you like kill a dragon or do something very glorious in battle, a killing strike,
warrior movement,
you get to name
great feat.
Yeah, you get to name yourself basically, like Knifecity, the sniffer of butts, or you get to add that.
They kind of preambled that with like war name aspirant, like. She doesn't have a name now. She's like, oh yeah, raid, attack, fuck you up.
Yeah,
I'm trying to earn my name. They kind of threw that, even in the cards itself, that in there.
Yeah, so it's like, your name, comma, whatever, the axe
dealer
cleaver.
Of death.
Exactly. So when it was her turn to give herself a name,
she sewed on a penis.
She chose Alesha.
No, she had a penis.
Oh, okay, go on.
Well, she already had.
After her grandmother.
Go on.
She chose Alesha, which was her grandmother's name, and so the clan is kind of like, what the hell? But also like she's badass and just fucks shit up. So
because she originally gave herself the name, she was just a peon that made her mark, made his mark, made her mark.
Yeah, she was.
And now she's an actual Khan, a leader of the Mardu.
Yeah, well, when she's a Khan, and her name was Alesha, and then when this other member of the clan was supposed to give himself a name, he kind of negated to do that, and he said, oh, well, your name should be Alesha, who smiles at death, or whatever. And so she liked it and stuck with it. But I just thought it was like really open-minded and progressive of Wizards to have a character in their story that's transgender, because I believe because I know like a transvestite is, a guy who dresses up like a girl who still likes girls, just likes to dress up like them. So there's like different variations, which I don't know the minutia of. But so the transgender is the umbrella term to use for that, and it doesn't really say her sexual preference. It's just that she wanted to change her name, and it refers to her as a she the whole time. So I'm thinking that she thinks of herself as a she.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like the maneuver, because personally I don't have any issues whatsoever with someone's personal sexuality. I mean, it's for people who are more offended by it. It's like it's the same kind of thing of, if you're not religious, do you want somebody jamming religion down your fucking throat? If you're not gay, do you want somebody jamming down gayness down your throat? It's just kind of like, don't fuck with somebody else's lifestyle. Who gives a shit? It doesn't really affect you, so fuck off. And so this progressive, mindset, I think it's a nice thing overall. Like, it's kind of like, fuck the people who are saying fuck the gays or fuck this and that. It's like, you know what? Fuck off. People are people.
Yeah.
They make their own choices. They feel how they feel. How does it really affect you? It doesn't. So don't have a heartache about it.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't play Mardu.
If you really have an issue,
that'd be a pretty weird thing. I don't like gays, so I can't play Mardu.
Yeah, I guess I gotta play Sultai.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me more about that penis.
One of my favorite bands is Against Me. They're a great punk band, a lot of fun, and the lead singer was Tom Gable, and now, like, lyrically wise, they're fucking fantastic. All kinds of great. Throughout the years, they've had a couple songs where you're kind of like, well, that sounds a little off. But nobody's ever said anything. I realized, well, Tom Gable is actually in the middle of a sex change and several ways through it and is now Laura Jane Grace.
Huh.
Still produces great music. Lyrically is one of the best writers you can find out there. It is she creates such great music. It's like, who gives a fuck? So the people who love the band have not jumped ship. They realized, who cares? I mean, Tom Gable is now Lauren Jane Grace. He's married and has a daughter. His wife is the chief, she does all the artwork for Alkaline Trio. They are staying together. She is going, okay, this is my husband. I support him. He's still into me. He just happens to like dressing like a female.
Yeah, I fell in love with this person. Doesn't matter what form this person takes. I still love this person.
So, I mean, that's that band. Obviously, people have jumped ship. There's always people who are homophobic or this or that. But you know what? They still create great music.
Looking at me, man.
One of the best shows I went to, not necessarily like the best show, because I was never really like into the band, but it was the best stage performance I've ever seen for a punk band, was MDC, Millions of Dead Cops. So the lead singer is gay, is all holy hell, and their songs and their lyrics are kind of
no. They're really about killing cops and shit like that.
They're like funny and political and kind of poking fun at shit and real, I don't know, campy is the word maybe.
Yeah, okay.
But so I never really got into them. But man, they put on such a great fucking show. I went to go see the Casualties and Agent Orange, and they stole the show from all of them. So I was like, really.
It's kind of like Slaughtering the Dogs. My buddy, because if you haven't listen to Slaughtering the Dogs, oh my god, it's such a great fucking band. But my buddy went to a show of theirs, didn't know at the time the lead singer was gay, and in the middle of the show, the lead singer reaches over, grabs the guitarist by the neck, and just starts kissing him and shit. He's like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what's happening?" But who gives a fuck, dude? They put great music out there. Fuck your fucking mindset of this minuscule world you live in. Fuck off. It doesn't really affect you. Get over yourself, you fucking prick, and get past it. Because they create great music. Alesha is a great card. So if you won't play her because you're homophobic, fuck you.
She's like the best tiny leader ever.
I know.
But what was I gonna say? Fuck.
So I got you off my
Well, I can say either way a little bit about the tiny leader thing if we want to also.
Yeah.
Because she does have some pretty good support cards if you're interested in using her as your tiny leader, mini mander, commander, whatever. It's pretty sweet.
Mander.
So mini mander. Yeah. So
I thought it was pretty cool. I look forward to more lore stories.
Pushes the boundaries
from cons.
Pisses off the old people.
Yes.
They're putting a lot of them out on the Uncharted Realms, so I'm looking forward to reading them. I need to catch up on some.
I like the Theros lore. That was probably my favorite so far.
The hero stuff? But I don't know what it was.
The heroes and the gods and the demigod and all that good shit.
So if we want to go in ranks of who's the best at lore, you guys want to fight for the top seed? That's fine because I'll just be last. And I got to be last at something in this cast, so I'll be last at this.
Well, I haven't read all the books or all the e-novels or whatever. But my favorite one was the original Ravnica book series, which, being first coming in at Gatecrash and learning all the guilds and the flavor of them all, and then reading the books really gave it some backstory, and it was almost kind of like I knew what the guild consisted of because I played with the cards, and so I could relate and read it a little bit easier. I don't know. It was a really good. There's 3 books in it, so I might have to reread them sometime pretty soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Shit.
Tiny Mander.
Mini Mander.
Oh, I just want to touch on it real quick, just because Alesha, who smiles at death, as we have talked about, she is a first strike. She's a legendary creature, human warrior. Whenever Alesha, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay hybrid white or black. White or black, so 2 hybrid. If you do, return target creature with power 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. So in Minimander, everything is converted mana cost 3 or less. You're going to have a shit ton of 2 or 1 drops in your graveyard, I would imagine, after the game goes on. You need to bring all those creatures back in. It's like a perfect fit for Minimander.
But the problem is, though, same thing with Commander, though. You can only have cards in your deck the color of your Commander.
No, but it's a red creature, but it also has white and black on the card, which means you get to use red, white, and black.
Oh, okay.
It's more
that helps my mindset, because I'm thinking, it's just red in the mana cost, so you can't fucking play that, so it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, whatever activated ability or any of that nonsense, whatever colors there are.
Okay.
So in this deck, it has that, and that's sweet, because it's a 3-mana card, it's a 3/2 first strike on its own, so it might be able to protect itself really well and be a good blocker. And whenever it attacks, and if you're able to attack, you get to bring in something for free. It's really, really good value. So this person, I'm looking at Bad Wolf 314. They're on tapped.net. Yeah, exactly. The only reason I looked it up because it's the highest upvoted deck that has this as their commander. So I wanted to see what they had in. So Minimander, as we said last time, it's like 50 cards and it's a singleton, so you only have one of each card. And some of the standout cards, I would say, are, like you can play like Goblin Guide. It's a haste 2/2 from an older modern format, right?
Great red card.
So you get to play. It has haste, and it comes out as a 2/2, and that's freaking fantastic. And then it has a downside of whenever it attacks, defending player reveals the top card of his or her library. If it's a land card, that player puts it in his hand. That sucks, but it's a haste 2/2 for 1. You have to have a downside because it's just not allowed in Magic.
Yeah, haste. 2 damage on 1 drop.
You get that. You get Bloodsoaked Champion. 1 drop. Comes back, from her triggered ability. You get Figure of Destiny. Figure of Destiny is just like that new Warden of the First Tree card, where it comes out as a 1 drop, but then you're able to make it a 2/2, then you make it a 4/4, then you make it an 8/8 with flying and first strike. You can. This game is you're still going to have more than 3 mana. And so you have to have cards that allow you to pump the extra mana in a later game.
Right.
They don't allow you to just pump in for 6 mana on 1 creature, but you're able to use a lot of abilities or cards that have X in their mana cost to really do some damage late game. So it has, like I said, those two, like Fire Drinker Satyr, a 2/1 for 1.
Great card.
Frenzied Goblin is a 1/1 for 1, but when it attacks, pay 1, and then target creature can't block this turn.
Also another good one.
Gnarled Scarhide, which is a 2/1 for 1, 1 black. It can't block, but it's 2/1 for 1, so that's fantastic, and then it can bestow. Goblin Rabblemaster, perfect fit. It's red, it's aggressive, it's a 3-mana creature. We already know all about that. We got a 1 mana 1/1, which is Mardu Shadowspear. Whenever this thing attacks, it deals 1, or each opponent loses 1 life. It's 1 mana 1/1 that gets to get that extra reach, and that's sweet. Yeah. Monastery Swiftspear, because there are 8 instant spells of the 50, so you're able to pump it up. And then there's 6 sorceries also, so that's a good fit because it's vast, it's little, and it gets to grow bigger from other spells. Play Painseer. It has the what's that? The Bob ability.
What?
Yeah, it has it. Well,
it has Inspired.
Yeah, it has Inspired. Whenever it becomes untapped, you get to draw a card and then lose life equal to its mana cost. Not so bad because you have 25 life instead of 20, so that might be good. We have Sin Collector, which is 1 white and a black, and when it enters battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose an instant sorcery card from it and exile it. That's sweet because it comes out. It's a 3-drop. It's a 2/1. That's sweet. You can use it once. It goes to your graveyard. Alesha triggers it again, and a battlefield effect happens again. So this 1 card allows it a 2/1 body that can trigger twice, and actually trigger more than twice because when it dies, it's not exiled. So fuck it. This is like an ultimate value card.
I have a quick question as you're going on that list about Minimander itself.
Right.
Because I've wondered, what is the, at 50 cards, what is the usual typical mana amount?
This deck, because it's so fast, has 18. People recommend 17 to 20.
Really?
Yeah, so if it's really fast, use 17 or 18. If it's a little bit bigger, mostly 3 mana cost, or a lot of things with X, throw in 20. So 20 of the 50.
Okay.
Or 20 of the 49, I guess you'd want to say it.
So I'm going to build mine. That's just,
if you build, if you're kind of going fast, you're like, screwed, I'll just put like 17 or 18 lands in there. And then you can throw in as many of the basic lands as you want, but just like Commander, you have to throw in only 1 of a non-basic land in there. So we pretty much ran through most of them, the 1-drops. There's Tormented Hero, once again, a 2/1 for 1. Like, everything's a fucking 2/1 for 1. And then we have War Name Aspirant. Yeah. It has Raid. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it. If a creature attacked this turn, this thing cannot be blocked with the creature's power 1 or less. That is really relevant because there's going to be many, many creatures with power 1 or less because it's mini-mander. You're not have to worry about 6/6s in this kind of format, so that's going to be pretty relevant. We have Spear of Heliod. We have Godsend, which if you don't know what Godsend is, then look it up. It's fucking awesome. We have
card's badass.
Yeah.
I guess I can get why it didn't really see constructed play, but it's pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
It's just too slow. But it is as powerful as a Magic card can be.
Card, though, man.
Really good, but it's just too slow. So I play it in a mono white deck that I have, but I only play one. We have Mardu Ascendancy. Whenever a non-token creature you control attacks, put a 1/1 Goblin creature token onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, and then sacrifice the Ascendancy. Creatures you control get +0/+3. So it's just more value. You can't get a lot of value out of 3-mana creatures or less, or 3-mana spells or less. So this is something that when you attack, you get to put a 1/1 out, and that's value. You can't ask for much more for the 3 mana. So the lands are all pretty standard. You're going to play like one of each dual land. You like all the pain lands and all the shock lands and Scry lands, Nobat Outpost, the Tri-land. You play all that stuff you can. No special effects here in this deck. There are probably some you can look into that may interact to pump up your guys or something like that, to pump in extra mana that you're gonna have more mana than you're gonna be able to cast out of your hand after a while. So then we get onto the really fun instance that you want to play, like Boros Charm.
Oh, the greatest.
Yeah, Boros Charm's the shit. Boros Charm, as you may remember, deals 4 damage to target player. Permanent you control gain indestructible till end of turn, or target creature gains double strike till end of turn. All of those for 1 red and 1 white. It's like you have to have this card. Crackling Doom fits right in. Crackling Doom is exactly the colors that it is. It's the best removal in the format right now. You get to play one of those. We have Deflecting Palm for any big creatures that are coming on the other side of the board. They're probably going to be nothing but 2 and 3 power creatures, but if something does grow, Deflecting Palm. And then you have just like basic removal, like Mardu Charm, Lightning Bolt, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, and then you have Smother. Smother is for 2 mana, 1 and a black, destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. It cannot be generated. Once again, Smother is the perfect card. Everything is 3 or less. It is that simple. For 2 mana, you get to remove any creature, and there's no way this isn't going to hit. So how is Smother? If you're playing black and you're playing Mini-Mander, Smother is the card you put in.
I wonder if Ride Down would be worthy of playing it.
Ride Down would probably be worthy. Yeah.
Ride Down is another removal / hit you in the face.
Exactly. So sorcery, we have Despise, Thoughtseize, Duress, Inquisition of Kozilek. So that's another one of those same cards. The thing is, it's perfect for this also because it's a Thoughtseize with no downside, and it removes a non-land card 3 mana or less. So it's Thoughtseize for Mini-Mander.
Nice.
It's the perfect card for this also. They have Mizia Mortars, which is a 2 mana card, but it has an overload effect. So once again, when you get late in the game,
one of my favorite sorceries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a big one.
You get late in the game.
I wasn't even in that block. I know about that.
Yeah,
card.
that card was ridiculous. Especially for Ryke, that shit was like amazing. So overload for 3 and 3 red, so 6 total, and it deals 4 damage to each creature you don't control. So when you get late game, once again, boom, pump it in 6, and you get to wipe out their board. Because 4 damage is going to kill every fucking thing in Mini-Mander because it's low power and toughness creatures the whole way around. So besides that, we have Rakdos Return, a card I used to play in my Minotaur deck. Remember that?
God
yeah.
Damn it.
So it's X, black and red. So because X counts as 0 for Mini-Mander, you can play this card. This thing reads, Rakdos' Return deals X damage to target opponent. That player discards X cards. So this is like that ultimate, I want to draw this on turn 6, and you look at it and you go, oh my god, I get to wipe out their hand and hit him for 6 right now, and then you just put it down and you fuck them up. It's awesome, it's great card for this.
Go back to that block.
Yeah. And
live that again.
I went through the whole deck. It's just a bunch of 2/1s, plus like Rabble Master, and Alesha, the commander itself, and a whole bunch of burn, pump, and disruption to their hand. And everything fits really, really well. Everything is really cheap. There's not even a lot of 3-drops. You're just trying to win right away. And because your opponent's creatures cannot get that much bigger than what you have, because you don't have to worry about turn 6 per se. Because all they can do is drop 2 creatures. They can't drop a big-ass 6/6 with reach and trample and whatever else, They can only drop little stuff. Hopefully your shit will be able to swarm the board much, much faster. So I think a good addition to this, though, would probably be Hordeling Outburst. They don't have it here, but I think Hordeling Outburst is a good fit.
That card's just good.
Yeah, 3/1/1s is already good in Standard. Why wouldn't it be good when you just want more creatures, So
It needs green. Need some green in there.
Yeah, right. I'm sure there are some really other good commanders, or mini-manders, but this is, I think this is a solid deck. I would change out a few cards, but I think there's a lot of standouts in this deck. So I'd just probably research a little harder and go dig a little deeper, because this can go back much farther than this deck does. This deck that I'm looking at is kind of like the last 3 years, and I bet you can dig another 5 more and find some really, really powerful shit. More like instants and sorceries, I'm thinking, and lands.
Once Mini-Mander or Tiny Leaders is like an actual legit format, I heard they were going to trademark it or copyright or something.
Yeah, I heard they asked to try and do that. That's going to go downhill real quick.
So I think Alesha is going to be banned, because that is just too good. It's too good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, every time she attacks. And she will attack a lot, because even if she dies, you just bring her back.
And it doesn't matter if you fucking trade off your other shit, because you're like, that's fine, I'll just bring her back next turn.
Yep. And you're going to have 5 mana at that point.
Yep.
In the other commander formats, I should say the commander format, they have, as your commander, usually 5 drops, 6 drops, 7 drops, or whatever. And that's harder, because then you go from 5 to 7 to 9 to 11, you have to go up really high, but this is simple. This is 3 to 5 to 7. Well, when it dies, you're probably going to have 5 mana, and when it dies again, you're probably going to have 7 mana. You don't have to wait, you just go for it. Turn 3, just bring her out and see what happens, Let your piddly shit trade with your opponent's creatures, and then just bring it back with her.
Well,
you're not afraid of those first few turns, because you can just bring it back. So I think it's, like you said, really, really strong. I will not be playing her. Knife will be playing her.
Actually, I won't be.
You won't be. What do you find?
I'm playing Timurit.
Yes.
And there's a couple other ones that look a little spicy that I might. But Timurit was the first one to come to mind, and so I'm going to give him a shot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of older cards that are just 3 colors, no colorless mana, and they do some crazy stuff. I was looking into it last podcast. So
Right.
But Timurit for now.
All right. Sounds good. This is good. I mean, red and black and white are always, those are pretty low mana cost card. The cards are normally, yeah. So green and blue are not necessarily focused on low mana cost.
Yeah.
I know for counter spells and stuff for blue,
yeah.
And then creature wise, there's not a whole lot down there in the low part. So Abzan sounds great because Abzan is very strong on those 3 colors, but really it's not that big a deal because there's not so much out there that green and black and shit can handle. Green and blue, but either way, I think that green is not so strong in this mini-mander set. It might be in some cases, but I don't see it. I think red and black are on it, or red and white at least. Red and white probably are my favorite 2 colors for mini-mander. I'm doing Jeskai. I'm doing the what is it? I mean, it's the one, the idea I had. What are you on right now? Oh, you're on fucking
I'm
Cons.
on Mythic Spoiler.
You're on Cons though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's the one from this new
Anafenza?
set. No. It's the one from the new set. It's from Fate Reforged. I think it's a 3/2 also. And it has, or maybe it's a 2/3, and it has prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, pay hybrid, white-red. Target creature gets double strike till end of turn.
Shin Yun, whatever the fuck.
Is that what that one is? Yeah.
So I'm Shin Yun, blah blah. It's the Jeskai legendary human.
Yeah, Shin Yun, Shu Yun, whatever. Stop moving it. The silent teapot. I don't know what the hell it says.
The Silent Tempest.
Silent Tempest.
Jesus, are you blind?
It says teapot.
Yeah, teapot sounds better anyway.
Always says teapot.
The steaming teapot. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shu Yun, the steaming teapot. So we'll play that, and I won't get the value that Knife will, or whoever else plays it. They're going to get the value of extra creatures. I'm going to hope to get my creature and double it up on strength and just have to have less creatures and just overpower and hope you don't block kind of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have those certain kind of spells, enchantments, whatever, to tap down your creatures and allow the damage to get in. That's pretty much the strategy I'll have to go with, rather than just having 8 creatures on the board that are all 2/1s, 1/1s, and whatever else. So
nice.
That's our example of the mini Mander right there.
You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
All I gotta say is we are gonna have to draft that conspiracy that Mr. Knife bought for the group.
It's just waiting.
Yeah, I know we got to.
Now that Fate has come out, and that weekend and couple weekends has happened, it's so exciting, new cards, all the jazz. I think we need to do it soon because it's gonna be fucking fun.
Okay, Ryke, what are you thinking about decks? What do you think about for deck building? What are you doing
for standard?
What are you brewing? For anything, what's going through your mind right now?
You just gotta make that Team Ascendancy.
Yeah, I was liking that Team Ascendancy, but I still want to get something where I can play my Knuckle Blades. I still want something that I can probably apply 1 or 2 of those Ataka.
Knuckle Blade's good because
Devastator
you get to pump in that mana that you're
Render, Ataka.
The mana you're generating, because the pump ability is 2 and a green, I think, right? So if you get the Team Ascendancy, you're able to get that infinite mana and pump it into him. Even if you don't have Nile, God of the Hunt.
Yeah.
And just go right in there.
Yeah.
That might be a good fit.
That definitely sounds good, but I'm still working on a mid-range deck.
Because the World Runner gets double strike for all dragon attacks. That's that one, right?
You're thinking about playing that too?
Like a 1-up for a mommy.
Yeah. Right.
But I want to get something that I can play my Knuckle back. I want to be able to get a few counter spells. I'm really on the wall teamer. I really just want to get a red-green deck going with Xenagod, the Xenagos god. And that dragon. It's going to be like huge rampy, but...
the Stubborn Denial is a real thing now.
There's a lot of ramp now, though. There's that Frontier Siege.
Yeah,
you
Frontier
can
Siege
help out. Have like 2 of those in there maybe, or 1 of even.
Yeah.
There's
some nice cards out there. But nothing out of this new set. Not too much. Just maybe 1 or 2. 2 cards I have my own. Maybe I'll try the Whisperwood Elemental.
That card's pretty good.
No?
The Phoenix, I don't know if I'd have a spot in my deck for him.
Okay.
It
does work with your 4-power and greater. The Ferocious Trigger will happen. But maybe it's not just enough. Maybe you want something bigger.
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of Pelucranos.
What about you? What do you got going on, Crow?
Right now, I personally, however awkward it may sound, I am loving the shit out of my Waste Not deck. And I am continuing to tweak it and make it better. And it may not sound like a fucking, you think about, fantastic, whatever it is, but based on the fact that I'm playing against some tier 1 style decks that like Hot Sauce is throwing out there, like Nabs and Best of, that's a deck that's been so solid. And we've only play tested a few games with it, but for the most part, I have utterly raped the Abzan deck on that point.
That's what it seems like.
So, for me, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm kind of deconstructing my Mardu deck so I can build that Perforos one we built on the cast here. See how that how fun that can be or whatnot. But right now, I just drew another Ugin. I'm going to finagle some things with my Ashiok and that Waste Not deck and the Ugins and get myself to that late game and just run your face over while you have no cards in hand.
Right, exactly.
Just fuck your day up. And it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to take it to a Friday Night Magic and see what it can do, because I think it is getting good enough to play against tier 1 decks.
It'll surprise people, too.
It's doing work. It may not sound like something, because it's, the Waste Not, everybody's trying to fucking make that work. Well, I'm making it work right now. I'm pretty proud of it at the moment, so I'm pretty excited about that, and currently it continues to enwrap and envelop my mind, because I can't brew something else at the moment because I'm continuing to tweak that into my personal perfection.
Taking over, yeah.
It's very enjoyable to me.
So what about Knife? What do you got?
I'm really digging on that Sultai Walkers list I talked about last podcast. I think that's going to be... Usually I have one main standard deck that I play with you guys, and then I have other little brews here and there. So I think the Sultai Walkers is going to be my main list. And
it's going to be pretty similar to Fabiano's. Pretty similar, not totally.
Well, when I watched him play it, it was what he was playing was very similar. And then when I went to go look at the actual list, it's just a really different take on the same theme, really. He's trying to accomplish the same thing, but just going about it a different way. But so I threw 2 Tassigers in the sideboard because I do like that. But other than that, the list is pretty much staying the same as I described on last podcast. I've also been doing the Waste Not brews ever since rotation.
I was gonna say I'm pretty excited that you're excited about the Sultai Walker, so that we didn't have like a personal like continued waste knot fight. Like I know you've been around longer than I have, but fuck you, I want a waste knot deck. I really, really have had a lot of fun with it.
Waste knot went up in price.
Yeah, it did.
It's a thing, dude. It really is with that dark deal. It really puts it over the edge. Like I was already excited. I liked my build. It was centered around waste knot and with. In a Black Devotion situation with Gary Merchant of Asphalt, draining you while I gain kind of thing and just controlling it and that stuff. My current tweak I'm going to build on it is actually taking all my Garys out of there and putting in some lower-ended removal and sweepers because I've noticed that my biggest weakness is aggro. So now I'm going to go ahead and take out the Garys, throw in the Ugin. I've got a Solomgar, the Drifting Death in there. And I'm going to, kill off that beginning front end and have my answers to the low end while
more
I'm
like
also making...
Bile Blight or like the...
I have Bile Blights, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I definitely have Crux of Fate. Bile Blight is in there. I may throw one Drown Sour, but I may just go with a couple Bile Blights and not worry about that necessarily because my whole point is I want your hand gone, you not having a chance to do anything. So hopefully you're only getting one creature out there anyways.
Yeah, so Bile Blight will hit it.
And then if you get like the Horling Outburst, well, then I've got Solomgar a couple turns later to just wipe them out anyways, and I'm just trying to stabilize so I can sit there with my Ashiok and just do whatever the fuck I want against you.
Yeah, that's
and it's been pretty fucking beastly, man. It's been very enjoyable for me to play.
So one of my other brews I've been working on the Magic Online beta, which is pretty much the only other one I've been having a lot of fun with. I did mess around with a mill deck. So, I mean, mill's never really been viable. I thought it was pretty good last standard season.
Yeah, once M15 hit and all that shit, then...
Yeah, once it all rotated out.
Well, yeah, once Gate Crash and all that shit rotated, then it's like, well, never mind.
So, the only really good, mill strategy would be with Phoenix to God. And so, I brewed a deck called the Big Booty Mill. So, basically, all the defenders... And the new butt fight card, the one where they creature you control and the creature they control deal damage to each other equal to their toughness.
Yeah.
So butt fight, and then the
butt fight.
That booty.
The something invocation, where you
Feral?
make a not feral. You make a XX. Where X is the greatest toughness.
The green black one?
Yeah.
Oh.
You make an XX where X is the greatest toughness among creatures you control. So playing a turn 2 05 and then a turn 3
07.
A turn 3 5/5 is not too bad.
Oh yeah.
But so
Or
the deck,
turn 3 Wall of Frost.
I'm actually not playing Wall of Frost just because of the double blue.
07 booty with knocking them out though.
So I'm
down.
really on Hornet's Nest nuts right now. I'm just in love with that card. It's doing a lot of work. It just stonewalls everything basically.
Everything.
And especially with that butt fight card. So I'll just butt fight your Pelucranos to my Hornet's Nest, and I got five fucking 1/1 Death Touchers. So anyways, that deck's fun, but it has.
I will say that I kind of gave you shit about the mill thing. I didn't really. I hadn't heard your list yet, but I had seen somebody else make a build with this and the same kind of general idea. I didn't think of the Hornet's Nest for it, so that's actually pretty sweet with the butt fight Hornet's Nest situation. That makes it a lot more viable from the deck I watched played because it was just so beyond hit and miss, and if they didn't have the Phoenix God go off. There really was nothing they could fucking do. At least if you've got that going on, that gives you the opportunity to hold them off and stave them off and figure situations out. Where, before they had they just remove the Phoenix on the one I saw, and that was pretty much it. And they could figure out how to get around your walls.
Right.
Well, with your fucking Death Touchers, and that makes it a lot more of a pain in the ass.
And then you bring out
They gotta have a fucking sweeper, otherwise, okay, well, then you can leave 2 of them back and just chip away with 3 of them and put more pressure on them for damage-wise, even though it's small damage. Besides the milling, it gives you another option of possibility
you can beat
way
down
to
while
win.
building your mill.
And also, Kintree Invocation is what it's called, where you make the XX.
Okay.
And so, it is still hit and miss, but it's kind of like build your own Jace So, I have 3 defenders out and Phoenix, and end of your turn, I just mill you for 15. Mm-hmm. End of your turn, mill you for 20. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people rage quit when I do that, but so that
fuck this noise.
That deck is real hit and miss. Is just something to fuck around with and have fun. But the deck that I might build in paper, might be a little expensive, is the deck Sauce and Crow we're talking about. Is the Boros, well, not really Boros, but the Jeskai, like, burn with the Mentor and the Funk Master.
That's expensive.
And then all the burn. And I have God's Willings in there. And then I have 2 Chandras. So if I don't get my dudes out, the Lifelinker and the one that makes the tokens, it's really hard to...
come back and stabilize.
I have a great start, and then I just peter out. So I really need to get those guys out first. And
Treasure Cruise, right?
Defend them with God's Will.
Yeah, I have 3 Treasure Crews. But yeah, I almost have to wait a turn to cast them because I have to have a God's Willing up to protect them. Because as soon as it comes out, they're like, oh, here's Downfall.
That's like my Black Blue Waste Knot is, depending on what I got going on in my hand, I play Swan Song.
Right.
So I can wait 1 turn, leave 1 blue up, and they go, okay, I want to banish and like that shit or whatever. I go, fuck you.
Yep. So it's a little...
Go ahead and have a 2/2 flyer. I don't give a shit. I'm keeping what I want on my board. You know?
Right. It's a little... I don't know. I still need to mess with it, but I wanted to tell this story before we wrap things up. We have 13 minutes left on the tape. So,
this thing has a freaking outer edge limit.
I didn't realize.
So I was playing that deck against this. This guy had a pretty... I see a lot of people with awesome brews on the beta, and this guy had a pretty fucking awesome one. It was all revolving around... Crufix, the god, to where you have no maximum hand size, and when your mana pool is supposed to empty out, it just converts it to colorless mana, and you keep it in your pool. And so he had Voyaging Satyr, Nykthos, and all the things to dump it into. So like Pelucranos, the Hydra, Genesis Hydra, Crater's Claws, and just a bunch of shit.
Mean.
Yeah. And then the top was Ugin, of course. And so, I was hanging on. I was, trying to just catch up with the life and tick him down a little bit until he was being real fucking cute. He wanted to go off completely,
so he's being a dick about Christmas landing himself.
Yeah, he was clawing his way to Christmas land. So he gets his Pelucranos up to a 12/12 and attacks in. I deflecting palm to his face. So he's
buttered already.
Yeah, so he's down to 9. And then I know he had next turn or something. I know he has a Crater's Claw in his hand. So pretty much.
Did you thought seize him, or you just?
He had Crufix, or not Crufix, Courser. So I saw that he drew it.
Okay.
And I also saw he had Ugin, and so I knew he could have just killed me right then and there. Granted, I did have mana up that did kind of represent like a negate or something. But he could have just, went for the Crater's Claw. Oh, if that didn't resolve, next turn I do Ugin or whatever. He easily could have killed me. But he opted not to. And this whole time I've been ticking Chandra up. And so I deflecting palm, 12 to the face. He's at 9. Next turn I ultimate Chandra and I pull fucking Stoke the Flames. And as soon as he sees fucking Stoke the Flames, he just rage quits, and then it says your opponent has disconnected, meaning he just logged off of Magic Online. He was just like, fuck you, I was this close to Christmas Land and you just fucked it up. I was like, if you don't kill me right now, I am going to hit either a Lightning Strike or a Stoke the Flames, because I only drew like one of them the whole game, and I have 4 of each in the fucking deck. So you better kill me. Oh, you're being cute. Fucking boom.
So I got something for you.
Go ahead.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
So Crufix, whatever, God of Horizons. If unused mana would empty from your mana pool, that mana becomes colorless instead. That's what you just said, right? Mm-hmm. Where your colored mana turns into colorless for next turn or whatever else.
Yeah.
Frontier Siege.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Fuck
Carries
you.
on.
4 mana
every
per turn turns to colorless.
Nice.
One card just generates 4 forever, every turn.
Nice.
That's stupid.
I didn't think about it until you were talking about them, and I just went, "Oh my god!" I'm like, let me read the card and make sure it's not you have to tap your mana,
Yeah.
or whatever. No, it's just whatever's in your mana pool turns the colors
whatever
next turn.
floating mana you
That's
You
have.
get to
stupid.
then you can drop X
Oh
like
my
you can
God.
drop Crater's Claws so fast and just dump it like that.
I
is
mean,
ridiculous.
it was a really
That's
good.
like the ultimate card for that. Holy shit!
It was a really good deck he had. He had Kioras in there, like I said, Ugin at the top, and just Voyage and Satyrs and all that fucking shit. And once he got Krufix out there, he was just tapping. He had Pelucranos out there, so I couldn't really attack in, and he was just letting turns go by, tapping mana, building up in the pool, tapping mana.
Jeez.
And he just got too cute and fucking dude. I have all my
Rage
I've
destroyed
ever
his
seen the Chandra
computer.
Ultimate.
all my
Like, he didn't log off. He just took a fucking baseball bat to his CPU.
all my best like magic beat stories where I just fuck somebody over is with Chandra's ultimate, which is like you rarely get to it. But so yeah, I have had a lot of fun on the beta. Unfortunately, it's gonna end tomorrow.
Very soon. Yeah, I think
tomorrow, I think. So unfortunately, I'll have to say goodbye. But it's just great because when you pull off the shit you're trying to pull off, people just rage quit. They don't just concede. Okay, let's go to the next game. They concede and then they immediately log off Magic.
For all you know, he threw his laptop.
That's what I'm saying,
Kicked
dude.
the Wi-Fi
That's all I
out. Yeah,
picture. is,
whatever.
fuck this shit. Fuck. Baseball bat. Smash.
So I had a lot of fun doing that, but we are almost out of time here, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. This has been episode 24 of If Lands Could
24.
Kill.
Oh, yeah, baby doll.
You can find us on Twitter at If Lands Could Kill with 1L. On Facebook, If Lands Could Kill. We have our own Twitch channel now, so I'll probably have already streamed by the time you're listening to this, but I will be streaming some MTGO pre-releases since I didn't get to do an actual paper one. And you can find all of us on Twitter. I'm going to put all our names in the show notes. And
professional.
yeah, I know.
Exactly. And then check out the YouTube channel, too.
Check out YouTube.
Videos to come. We're going to start off with the booster box opening, and then we'll get on to some standard versus videos and so on. So the decks we're talking about, So after we actually quit this cast, we're going to be trading some cards to build our decks. We're going to be going through the booster box and doing some trades. I'm going to try to build my Manifest deck. And we're going to fix, more on the Waste Not deck and whatever else. What else we got to do, we're going to trade it up and see what the hell we can do with it. So that's what's happening.
Sweet.
We also have our website, which wasn't mentioned, but iflandscould.com.
Yeah,
Check it out. We got
bios
all
on each of
personal
us.
profiles and all kinds of jazz on there.
And
And
if you want to talk to us for reals, just go to that, and then there's a contact thing on there. Contact us. Just send us a message, tell them how much we suck, and tell us to suck all the dicks. And you can also send dick pics to that or whatever. Whatever you
I've
got
had
to
a
do.
few people add me on Twitter and whatnot through this shit.
Yeah,
And
it's very
just
good.
please send questions, talk. Anybody in San Diego wants to have a play group going, please send me an invite. I'm down to play.
Yeah, you're probably hearing us right now on MTG Cast. That's our most popular outlet. So shout out to them for doing what they're doing with us. So
Yeah, if you can, also donate to MTG Cast. They're still in the red every month, as in like with server fees and everything. I'm not sure if they have like a Patreon type thing, but they have their own sort of like donation system.
over PayPal or whatever else.
Yeah, something like that. So go ahead and hook them up because this is all free. You're listening to this for free. We're putting our content on there for free. They're clicking buttons, not getting paid for all those button clicks
And
they're doing.
half the cast has no job, and we're still not looking for your money.
Yeah,
We don't need your money. We need the money to go to MTG Cast and places like that because that's where this is how this gets to you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, isn't working.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of bums.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you guys should work for MTG Cast.
Yeah, there we go. There's a plan.
Fuck, I wish I knew software.
All right, well, that's been it. I'm Knifecity.
That's right.
Samhain Crow.
Hot sauce.
And we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Come on back.
Here's a trending article on Facebook.
Trending.
Snickers. Super Bowl ad for candy bar features actor Danny Trejo as member of the Brady Bunch.
What? The fuck? That's
I love Danny Trejo. That guy's so awesome.
Badass.
He's so funny.
This guy's like 85.
Dude,
Yeah, he is ancient. He is so old.
You know,
And he's done like 700 fucking movies.
Yeah. He's got this Sylvester Stallone thing going on though, where like he never, even though he's like totally out of shape, he's still so in shape. You know?
He's got like that 50s in shape.
Yeah.
You know? Where it's like not toned, but it's just like.
But you know,
We got the belt up here, so
Yes.
it's just hiding the gut. That's just right underneath.
Just all
Exactly.
flabby. But
And if he hits you, he'll kill you with his fist, but his fist will break and not repair itself. Like a young person.
It's funny to watch a movie and then having the action scene where you actually see it's him doing it and how slow the movement really is. I hope he doesn't listen to this cast. He'll fucking kill us all.
It's in English. We did not worry about it.
Okay.